one. Like, it's not nighttime all the time or day all the time. Good, nice mix.
What's the rotational period on it?
You know, I don't even know. Let me check. Hang on.
I think I'm going to do that circumnavigation challenge. I'm going to do it though on Mitteran's Hollow.
Yeah. You wouldn't be the first, actually. Primetime Casual did it on Mitran Hollow.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it on Mitter and Hollow and get an epileptic seizure.
I'll be fine. I'm not triggered by that blue flashy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This explains a lot. So its orbital period is 0.8.
We are up.
Awesome.
Nice.
Waiting for Twitch now because it's the slowest. YouTube's finally working. Okay. People. Humans, Earthlings, humans from not Earth.
I want to meet some humans from not Earth.
Yeah.
Hey, JN Trax is live, guys.
We're live. It's coming up, and Twitch. It's going to hit Twitch in just a moment because Twitch has a marvelous delay, but I'm pretty sure it always comes on and catches up eventually. So we're up to 72 signed up participants, and I think the 4 abandonments changed to 3. So somebody
One unabandoned.
Somebody unabandoned.
I dig it.
So that's pretty good. I am at the place that Ty keeps calling Sacagawea. That is definitely not how you say that, but that's fine.
Is it really not?
It's not. That's not those letters at all. It's Sacagawea maybe. It's like got a Q, but there's no U. There's definitely no G.
I think it's Sacagawea. I think it's named after
Is that how you say that?
I'm almost positive
spell
that
it, I
it's
should
named
say.
after the female guide from Lewis and Clark's expedition, Sacagawea.
But that's written Sacagawea is written with a G. I just looked it up, and this spaceport is spelled with a Q. Unless the font that EDSM is using is bonkers.
It's the same way as, Hanukkah. It's spelled HANNUK, and then other places spell it CHANU. Like, I literally had a friend say, like, "Hey, what's this on the calendar, Chinooka?" And I was like, "What the hell are you talking?" And I was like, "Oh, Hanukkah, you moron!"
So this would be an issue with,
Spelling,
turning
maybe?
it into the English alphabet, the Roman alphabet, I should say.
What spell it exactly?
It's
exactly
the same, but with a Q instead of a G. So
just spell it for me, because I'm googling it up now.
SACAQAWEA is what the spaceport is called.
Spaceport. I'm pulling up the wiki for the spaceport.
Okay. Let's get to the bottom of this.
It's a planetary outpost in the system, Scouday CHB D14-34, blah, 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 Colonial Highway, and is situated in the Scouday Nebula. And then that's all they give about that. Thanks a lot, man.
Way to go. I think you could easily be right, though, that they're using a Q instead of a G, and it might just be like different alphabets.
So the explorers, or Lewis and Clark, the woman's actual name was, and I'm about to butcher it, was Sacagawea. TSAKAKA-WEA.
But basically, that's the phonetic spelling of what we just said here.
But they refer to her as Sacagawea, sometimes spelt with a J, sometimes spelt with a Q. So it is Sacagawea.
Yeah, so this is basically a situation of when you're doing phonetically from one language to another, the letters can get all kerfluffled.
Right.
So, just for the record, Ty was right.
Yeah, and
also... Just for the record, Ty had no friggin' clue. He was like, it's called something, and I'm like, dude, it's Sacagawea, as in Lewis and Clark. I did. It was on air.
I am very much aware of who Lewis and Clark were, and I'm very much aware of their guide.
It was on air like 3 episodes ago.
I was just not sure of how they spelled Sacagawea.
Yeah, like 3 episodes ago.
Yeah.
3 episodes ago, you were like, "We're going to Sacagawea," and I'm like, "Dude, it's Sacagawea."
I think you need to check the tape on that. I'm pretty sure I said Sacagawea to begin with.
Okay, we could definitely pull the tape.
Well, I'm not pulling it. I honestly have never heard anybody say something besides Sacagawea, and I feel like I have offered a correction to several of you, and now I can honestly say that the only thing we know for sure is that I was probably wrong.
Hashtag don't bet against the nuclear-powered robot.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm on my way from Waypoint 8 to 9 right now, and then we're eventually going to go all the way to 11 today is the plan. So we're going to the Thistle Nebula right now, and I am going to root that crap.
So this is the oh crap, how am I blanking on it? Spinal Tap stream. We're going all the way to 11.
Yes, we will get to 11. We're just going to go 1 past 10 because it's just a little bit further. I suppose I could have skipped it and just made Waypoint 10 a little further, but I wanted to go to 11, so that's what we're doing.
Right on.
So, Alec.
Rock and roll.
Hey, yeah, I was hiding in the wings. Out through the curtain.
He's like, I'm not getting involved with these idiots until they're done.
I don't know how it's pronounced. I'm not getting involved in this.
Well, everybody, I started late because of random garbage that's been going on in real life, and who knows, maybe we'll chat about that a little bit later too. But besides the random garbage, then I got on and had technical problems. Oh, my speakers are louder than I want them to be. There we go. Oh, but we're here. We're in space. I've got coffee. I'm drinking through a straw so that it fits under my face mask.
So the stream hasn't started though until you play your first sound.
Yeah, that's right. I was kind of waiting for things to calm down, but we're gonna begin now.
Distant screws.
Going deep.
That's right.
I like that.
Let's go. So, yeah, I mean, when I kind of planned this, I had in my head that we would be doing multi-crews and things like that, which we definitely can do. I don't know how important it is, but if anybody wants to see my view or whatever, I mean, the trick becomes like we can't get into the SRVs and drive them around, can we? Regardless of whether we do that.
We definitely can. We just have to be in our own SRVs, but we can meet up on a planet and drive around and be silly.
Well,
maybe next week or something.
Let me just check the board here, and I find that yes, Alec is 12,500 light years away from me.
Yeah.
So
I'm just looking at that myself. Yeah, yep. 12,587.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to be getting any SRV lessons today, at least not in person. But
it is such a shame that I can't do that. Never mind.
By Alec's standards, though, that means he could be there in about 30 minutes.
That's true.
Well, I was just looking. I plotted a route, and it's not good. I'm afraid it's 580.
Wow.
Oh, so 36 minutes.
Oh no, 533. So yeah, it'll take me
a bit of a hike.
If I need to get on the Spanish Neutron Highway and stuff, if I was going to get there. Besides, I'm driving around the planet here. I can't leave.
Right.
So I finish.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, absolutely. So how has that been? Anyways, this is you said it was your third time doing this?
Yeah, this is a good one actually. I'm enjoying this one. They've all been good. Well, the first one was a little one I did out in where was it? I guess it was in the Pleiades. That was the one I did for charity.
Oh, cool.
Eventually, I thought I might as well do it for charity, like a sponsored walk, and raised not a huge amount. I raised about 800 quid for special effects. And then we did the expedition last year, which was awesome. And we had like maybe over 50 people signed up to do a planetary expedition, go all the way around a planet. And then this one was kind of an accident, because I just saw this really nice planet, and then I thought I'll just drive it around for a bit. And there was this really nice little ravine, and I just thought, I see where this takes me. And it kind of took me quite a long way, and I thought it'd be quite fun to start a forum thread, which was, where's this little ravine going to take me? The punchline being, it's going to take me all the way around the entire damn planet.
Tell the truth, though. The real situation is that You picked a fight with an eagle, and by the time you lost it, you figured, it's closer to just keep going.
That was funny. That worked out really funny.
That was a great video.
I'm not planning any of this, but that was hilarious when that damn thing started chasing me. So yeah, shall I hop into multi-crew? Let's give this a go. I was going to take some screenshots and see if I can get us both in it.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Hold on, I'm charging the FSD. Oh, the Anaconda. Just, it's a struggle sometimes. Let's get you in here. There we go. Oh, what should I say? Xeno research. Further activities. There, exploration. I'll be honest.
Yeah, have to pick a roll, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's just because it changes the rules about whether if I break the law, if it's gonna like kick you out or charge you with crimes.
Don't do this very often. It's quite exciting. Hey, cool.
Hey, so I'm trying to circumnavigate a neutron star, but and the Anaconda turns like a cruise ship, so.
You know, I'd actually be impressed if you figure out a way to break the law out there.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's such a shame that, because I've got head tracking here, and I guess you're in VR, so you have too. It's such a shame that the avatar heads don't move like with your head.
I know. It is kind of crazy. I need to...
Because I was looking over at you thinking, well, that's a bit rude. He's completely ignoring me.
I know. So I'm... Which seat are you in? Oh, you're to my right. There you are. So I can see you. Yeah. Hello. Nice coat.
Hello.
Alright, so we're going to try to get this right this time. Oop, kind of the wrong way. Oh, see, I went way too fast. Oh, good enough. Good enough. We made it. Okay. Yeah, because good. We've got a 247 light-year jump ahead of us. Oh, I think there's only one world in this system. May as well scan it. So last time, I found that I was on a path that was already thoroughly discovered by community member Big Daddy. So if I start hitting that again, we may deviate off the path by a few hundred light years first, but here we go for 247 light years. So...
Oh, I thought I could give you a pip, but I don't seem to be able to give you a pip. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've got one in systems. Not that we need pips out here. Very convenient sometimes. So you can at least get a pretty respectable third-person view of most of this stuff, right?
Yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna go and jump in the camera suite and see if I can get some screenshots.
Yeah. Hopefully something will be good by the time we get somewhere interesting, but for now I'll just kind of turn on the speed because I don't want this to take too many hours. But so how far around the world are you currently?
Hang on, sorry, I was just getting a screenshot. Yeah. I am currently, I'm 2/3 of the way now. So I tend to do it around the equator.
Mm-hmm.
You just get on the 0-degree line and then just head 90 or 270.
Right, and then it can tell you pretty clear if you start to deviate.
Yeah, and the nice thing then is you've got a really clear indication of progress. So I think I started at 150 degrees. So I just need to go all the way back round to 150 degrees.
Yeah.
So I am 2/3 of the way now. I've got about 1,200 kilometers left to go.
Okay. I was going to ask, like, how big a planet is it? It's hard for me to even get the scale in my head.
Yeah.
Having never done anything long distance.
I think it might take me about 2 more weeks. I might be quite bored of it by then. I'm kind of running out of ways to role play it. So I started off and I was role playing this whole thing of finding escape pods.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
But there's just hundreds of the damn things, and the role play's got a bit stupid now. So I'm just sort of driving past escape pods and just leaving them there now.
Because the game spawns that stuff, right? When you just drive far enough, you start to see things.
I think it's right. Like for the average player, it's nice that once in a blue moon you might find something.
Right.
Obviously, if you're driving around an entire planet, it starts to seem a little bit daft because there's something every 10 minutes.
Yeah. Sure. Yes,
so
patches.
The furthest you've ever been? You said you hadn't been to Sajay, I think.
That's right. So the only thing I ever did was I went and got my 5,000 for the sake of the engineer way back, and I did a very bad job of it. I didn't know what I was doing, and I took off toward the outer rim, and in a jump range of about 25 light years. So I very quickly got stuck and had to turn around. And I'd only made it about, I think I'd only made it about 1,700 light years or something like that before I got stuck. So then I went inward, and that worked out a lot better. Oh, we're going to find this one planet. And that worked out a lot better, but I did just go to I just went to a nebula somewhere that was about 5,000 and then turned around and came back. So I've never done anything proper, and I've never been out here before. So it's really pretty. But I know you've buckyballed all the way to far places before.
I've only done it once. I'm not a big explorer, but I did the Sagittarius A-star run back maybe 3 years ago, when it still took a long time. So it took me I think just over 15 and a half hours.
Yep.
And it was quite a big deal. I took a day off work, and it was a single sitting thing of starting off at 8 in the morning, and man, I was tired at the end of it. But it was good. It was awesome.
And that was just getting there. That wasn't there and back.
Yeah, that was the worst thing, because I got there. I was so focused on getting there, and I suddenly thought, shit, I gotta go all the way back again.
That's impressive, though.
Yeah.
What, the time?
It's impressive that you just
the commitment
gutted it out 15 hours straight, one go.
Yeah, I wanted to do it. It was interesting times, actually. I don't know if you even remember this, but there was about 3-4 years ago, there was the first report of a griefer that camped himself at Sagittarius A.
Oh, really?
And it was really shocking to the exploration community, because then I was buckyballing it. It was taking most people weeks. And they would get there, and this guy was just camping there and killing people.
And there wasn't a station at the time.
Yeah, no, there was nothing.
How long did it take him to get out there? Because if he was in a proper PvP ship, then he was...
Yeah, I know, right? There's a certain amount of respect, isn't there, to that?
Also, though, I would love to go with 3 or 4 exploration buddies loaded for bear and be like, all right, dude, how about this? We're going to pop you and send you back.
Well, so what happened is there was a guy called Aniranium. I think he might have been the very first guy to do a fuel rat rescue as well, actually. And him and a bunch of other guys went out there in armed anacondas to basically defend Sagittarius A against this guy. And there were a couple of other people doing it as well at the time. So when I was doing my run out there, these 15 hours and watching the light years count down, there was a very real chance that when I got there, I was going to get killed by this guy. I was going to do it in open, I just do.
Right.
So it was really exciting, it was really tense, and then it turns out that Aniranium was there to meet me, and he'd kind of been protecting it for the last 3 hours while I made the last few light years, and it was cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was really good.
That is really great.
So we just last week had the 70,000 past the 70,000 fuel rats line, fuel rat rescues, and the week before that was the 1 week anniversary of the longest ever fuel rat rescue, that one that was on the farthest point from the guy
that super cruised for 2 weeks beyond the furthest stuff.
Yeah, that was so the week before that was the 1 year anniversary of his rescue, and those guys got the call, and it took them a full day of planning and then 3 weeks to get out there or whatever to rescue him.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's dedication, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, and people think an hour and a half is a long way to hunt an orbital. 3 weeks. It's just insane.
So hats off to the fuel rats, man.
For sure. I mean, how do they even plot? I mean, the guy can't be logged in, so how do they keep track of what? Make sure they're heading in the right direction? They would have had to use like real star charts or something.
So what they did is they get him to log in occasionally, and then they take bearings and kind of do some sums, and then go, right, we need to super cruise in this direction
Adjust
for the next
heading
12
and
hours.
so on. Wow.
Yeah, and then he logs. And then what you try and do is not touch the joystick or anything, but inevitably you kind of get a little bit off course, and then you have to take new bearings and do it again.
Right.
I think they should change their motto to "We've got common sense, you don't." Questions?
Have you ever done it, Kai? Or
fuel routing?
Yeah, or use them?
I have not used them. I've never run out of gas, but I have definitely. It's honestly though, fuel routing is one of the things that's on my list of once I get done with this project, these next 3 projects, because it's this one that I should be finishing today or tomorrow, which is Triple Elite. Then the Distance Screws expedition, and then there's one other project which I can't really talk about right now that will be happening after that. And after I'm done with that project, I think the next thing I want to try is signing up to be a volunteer fuel rat.
Yeah, do it. It's fun. I did it. I've done it for a long time. I haven't done a rescue for a year or so now, but I've done about 100.
Nice.
So does that mean you could be on call, or you like put yourself on call or something?
Yeah.
Well, so the way it works, so the way I did it was I'd be doing whatever I was doing. So if I was bounty hunting or grinding for federal rep or whatever it was, I'd always do it in a ship that had a reasonable jump range and some fuel inputs on board. And then I had an iPad which I'd sit next to my screen here. I just keep an eye on their IRC channel, and then every time a rescue comes in, you just quickly jump to the system map, check how many jumps it will take you to get there, and then you just call those out in the IRC, and you say it'll take me 5 jumps. And then occasionally you get assigned to the case, and then off you go. It's good.
Okay, yeah, they're going to dispatch from there.
Yeah, yeah, it's neat.
It's pretty good.
My whole life seems to be on call.
Right.
Yeah, it's a bit of a busman's holiday for you being a fuel rat.
Busman's holiday. Oh, the British sayings.
You know what I mean by that, though, right?
No, it makes perfect sense. Actually, I think I'm not gonna say, and I'm not gonna analyze idioms from other people's countries, but that wouldn't be wise. No, they make, for the most part, I think everybody's sayings make perfect sense. And then
just like,
it's the internet derived ones that need Googling.
Just like whenever Trax goes, to Costa Rica or Jamaica or whatever, then he's gonna carry on abroad. See, the funny thing is Trax doesn't get that one.
No, I think I have to. I'm kind of waiting to see how big the laughter is.
So Alec had the appropriate little snicker laugh there. Carry On Abroad were these series of old English films that it was kind of like a National Lampoon's Vacation, but with a little more TNA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, National Lampoon's not a bad comparison, actually. We've got this TV channel that we tune into at the moment here on, it's like a preview. I forget what it's called, but they play loads of old stuff, loads of black and white movies and old sort of those informational movies they used to show in movie theaters during the war. But they also go right up to the 70s, and occasionally they show carry-on movies. And what's really funny is anything like that, they bring up this screen before they're going to show it that says, what does it say? It's something like, the views expressed in this film are from another era and may offend some viewers.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff from the 60s and 70s where, a guy would slap a girl on the behind as she walks by or whatever, and it was like, oh, he's being cheeky, whereas now it's like, oh, that's assault.
Yeah. I'll tell you a funny thing about the Carry On movies, actually. Have you ever heard of a thing called the Bechdel test?
The Bechdel test, yeah.
So it's like if 2 women actually have a conversation in the film.
Yeah.
So everyone thinks of the Carry On movies as these sort of sexist but nearly every single Carry On movie passes the Bechdel test.
Oh, interesting.
So the Bechdel test is 2 women have to be having a conversation that has nothing to do with men.
Yeah.
Right.
And pretty much every Carry On movie passes it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then like within seconds of those 2 women having that conversation, both of them get groped by some random dude.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean,
Right.
their clothes will fall off 5 minutes later, but at least they had an intelligent conversation.
Fair enough.
5 minutes.
I'm gonna fly by of a water world now. Is that the pole ice cap up there?
I was just looking at that. It's nice.
I think the VR really gives a sense of the scale that's a little tougher to get when it's flat. It's just the way I can kind of turn my head, and like the whole planet is not in my field of view,
It's nice because I'm sitting here kind of doing the same with head tracking. So I've got my head over to the right, and I'm looking out the right-hand window at that ice cap.
What head tracking do you use, Alec?
It's the Track IR. It's the thing. So I've got a little clip. I've got a baseball cap, and then a little clip that's got these 3 spots on it, and then there's a little thing on top of my monitor that watches it. It's good. It works really well.
Nice. And those are like 40 quid, right?
No, this is quite an expensive one. It's about 120 or something. But it's good. I mean, because I have VR, but actually I don't play Elite that much in VR. And this makes it a lot easier to go back to a screen. If I couldn't turn my head, it would feel awful.
That is one of the big things, like when I do play on a screen, it's the landing and some things like that where I'm very used to turning my head around, or in a lot of craft where I can see better.
I couldn't turn my head.
Yeah.
What VR set have you got?
This is a Rift S.
Oh, okay, nice. Was that the first one you had?
Yeah, I didn't have one before that, so I got this last May when they came out, and it's.
Had you tried it before it turned up at your house?
Nope. The only time I'd ever had one on my head was actually I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we have a museum center here where there was the dinosaur exhibit. The permanent dinosaur exhibit has this thing that you can do for like $5, where they have this VR experience where you're flying as like a pterosaur through a prehistoric world. And you do it with a body controller, so you lay down and they blow a fan on your face and you flap your wings. Yeah, and so that was I actually went there, and I mean I was convinced I wanted to have it already, but I went there and tried that out just for the sake of I flew right through the stupid jet cone again, missed it. I went and tried it out to make sure it would fit over my glasses, which it did. It was fine. I think it was a Vive. I think it was an ordinary original Vive. And I was like, okay, I get it. I can see it's very cool. I know that this headset is a little bit low res compared to what I would probably end up getting, because I had my eye on a Rift S. But I knew I liked it and that it was cool, and and it definitely was. So I put in this pre-order and it showed up. And my computer's probably barely powerful enough to do this, and realistically I wouldn't want to get something with a higher resolution yet anyway, but and now I have prescription snap-in lenses for it too, so I don't even have to wear my glasses under it, because once I realized that yes, this is now my life and I am going to be spending many hours in this, I got to get comfortable, and they even if they fit, they push into your nose in an uncomfortable way.
Yeah. I wear glasses but only for reading, so I don't need them in the headset, but
oh, that's nice.
But my wife uses her glasses in the headset, and I can see how much of a pain it is, you have to kind of maneuver the headset over them, and every time you take the headset off, your glasses come off with it.
Yeah.
What games does your wife play? Does she play Elite as well?
She really likes Google Earth VR.
Okay.
Loved it. She's actually planned a couple of family holidays using it.
Nice.
See, I've seen that and never tried it. I was always like, well, that seems dull.
You gotta give it a go. It's really, you can lose hours in it. It's amazing.
Well, that'd be something to pick up now that we're going to be home with our kid for 3 weeks minimum.
Oof.
Have you been quarantined?
Yeah, well, not quarantined, but they're getting proactive, and just the end of last week they announced that all public, private, and charter schools here in Cincinnati are going to be closed, or required to be closed for 3 weeks. My wife's a high school teacher, and my daughter goes to the early childhood center at the same school. So they were planning a trip to Arizona as a vacation with my mother-in-law, which they've decided to cancel. Honestly, they weren't even that worried about the virus stuff, but it was the weather wasn't going to be that good. So they're sort of taking that opportunity to just be like, okay, whatever, we'll do this trip in the fall. And so that's part of what I was doing that made me so late. These past couple of days, we've been sort of prepping and dealing with the hysteria of everyone around here. And
Yeah.
we have like toilet paper for some reason.
Same here in the UK.
No sense at all. Somebody somewhere uttered the idea that toilet paper was made in China and was going to be hard to get. No, not true.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit true.
I was saying just today, people aren't panic buying because of the virus. They're panic buying because people are panic buying.
Right.
It's a self-fulfilling. You could almost seed it. Like if you spread the rumor tomorrow that people were panic buying chocolate, sure enough, people would start panic buying chocolate.
Right. And then it leaves me in this position where it's like, I don't want to contribute to that. And I had actually, 2 weeks prior, I had just kind of stocked up on dry goods just because there's nothing wrong with having lots of that around. It's almost like winter storm preparedness, But I kind of went back and was like, well, shoot, now everybody's doing this. It actually could impact me if they run out of some things we need. So
I don't think so. I think that's so overblown. So now, admittedly, I'm a single guy, and I'll go to like Costco and buy one of those things that has like the 80 rolls of toilet paper, and then literally okay, that's me for the year. I'll see you next year for that. I don't.
Sure.
When people are like, oh my God, I look and I'm like, I think I've still got like 8 months left in rolls because I bought I bought some right before Christmas. I think I'm pretty much good till next Christmas. I don't care.
Well, we're a family of 3 here. Well, my daughter's away from home, so there's 3 of us. We're not stocking up on anything. We're just living week to week exactly as we've always done. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to rush out and buy stuff.
And to be fair, I didn't stock up because I was expecting some doomsday prep. Because I buy it for cheap.
It's the best way to buy it.
One big go, and then I don't have to think about it for a year. Because as a single guy, you want to limit hey, welcome, DJ. You want to welcome as much as you can, or you want to limit as much as you can the amount of time you have to spend shopping for crap.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't buy toilet paper because we were fine. I was really just I basically was buying things because I'm trying to keep our meals generally planned and nutritious for my 4-year-old daughter, so we're not just going to be eating canned goods and rice if we can help it. And I don't really think we're going to have any problems, and we would still be able to go to the store if we needed to. But the trouble is right now it's ransacked. I heard my mother-in-law said that the store near her, they had security forces there blocking off the paper goods aisle because people were attacking the stocking people. They could get actually injured. I couldn't believe it.
Look at what Ty just posted in general.
Oh, sorry, I can't see it. Hold on. Hey, everybody in chat. Sorry, I've been ignoring messages.
So, DJ Wiley, are you still in Iceland, or are you back?
I'm back now.
Ah, welcome back. So did you ever I know you were going out every night trying to get a good one. Did you ever get a good view of the Northern Lights, or was it overcast every time?
No, didn't get to see them. It wasn't overcast. The skies were pretty clear. I just don't think there wasn't much solar activity while we were there.
Bummer.
Yeah. But apart from that, it was good.
Right on.
I saw Northern Lights one time when I was a kid. We were in New England, and just some random night, it happened to come south enough to where we could see it. And it was, where we were, it was like red and orange ribbons. It wasn't even the usual green that you see. Kind of odd. But it was pretty weird to see as a little kid. Not entirely knowing what it was until my dad explained it to me.
You know, there was a point, I want to say it was like mid 80s, early 90s, where there was a really big geostorm, and and not like in the friggin' Gerard Butler movie, but but there was a really big geostorm.
Just like that.
Yeah, exactly. And the Northern Lights actually came like far south enough that we could actually see them in Texas, but the further south they went, the redder they got because of you know, the spectrum. And it was only like 2 or 3 days you could see them, but I remember seeing them then. But
Well, that probably explains that then.
Yeah, it was probably around the same time. I bet money.
Probably. So I would have been, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't remember the year. You know, it was that young. Funny stuff. Yeah. Ooh, I saw something.
Never seen them before myself. I was hoping that would have seen them when I was away there, but wasn't.
Next time, go to Texas. Apparently, you can see them there sometime.
one time in the 40 years of my life.
Well, hey, he's at 0, so you're ahead of him.
Right.
And he went to Iceland just to see him. So
we're
That's
2
awesome.
jumps out from this nebula. That first waypoint went pretty quick.
The way they looked, like, to be like, you ever been like driving at night and you can kind of see the lights in the city way off in the distance?
Yeah.
It looked like that.
It
was
looked
not
like something
the
shining
spectacular-
off the clouds.
Yeah, it was not nothing beautiful or spectacular like you see in the movie, or you see in the pictures and movies and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember being able to see very little movement in it, and just sort of almost it was the vertical sheets, but they were really soft looking and kind of just a dullish orange and very slow moving. But nothing.
When you see that movement in TV programs, is that speeded up then? Is that, or
I
is that
think
just
sometimes.
rare?
Yeah, it I don't think they actually move that fast. Everything I've ever seen it's a
Time lapse.
it's a time lapse. Thank you. I can't talk.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
hello to you.
Hello.
Patches is saying Northern Lights in Canada 2 or 3 times each winter they get some. Yeah.
I'm confused. Why is there a JN Tracks and JN Tracks soundboard?
Well, one of them is Jay and Trax, and the other one is his soundboard.
Distant screws.
Keep it loose and screwy out there, commanders.
That is hilarious.
Ask and ye shall
that.
receive.
What was it I was hearing about? Oh, I found a water world.
Oh yeah, I looked and I've been too busy. You know, there's this health crisis. Anyway, I haven't made any new sounds. I'm so sorry.
Wow, he literally blamed the fact that he doesn't have a Waterworld sound on his soundboard on
Well, what about like
coronavirus.
what about terraformable or?
Terraformable.
Yes.
We've got that. Okay, so
The
anyway,
coronavirus has hit hard. JN Trax has been missing stuff on his soundboard.
I had no. Listen, guys. I honestly, like, I have other podcasts that I work for that are just clients of mine, right? And a bunch of them felt the need to like interrupt their typical schedules, which gives me plenty of lead time, and we're planning all ahead, and I'm getting the episodes produced and in their Dropbox and everything. They interrupt all that and they drop things on me like, oh, when, you know, how late can I get this to you and still have it turned around by Monday? And so I was like finishing some of those up today before coming on here, and did get a little bit of loose screws prepped and ready to go out Monday, so that'll be all set. So yeah, we're on track, but they do drop this crap in my lap. So we're gonna jump into this nebula now. Spear Thistle Nebula. Anything interesting in here? Oh shoot, there's a black hole in here. Good to know. Good to
Hello,
know.
black hole. Warm
Yep.
hugs. Every time I went into his system where there was a black hole, I just ran right into it.
Did ya? Well, we'll throttle down here. Here we go.
You
This should
jump
be
in
fun.
and I'll hang out the window with the camera.
Alrighty, here we go. Firing.
I'm picturing Alec Turner like a dog with his head out the window.
Right. Here he is. There he is. Hello, Alec. Too bad we can't wave to each other.
I know, that's what I was saying. Like, if we were in VR, we should be able to pick up our controller and wave.
Yeah. If this Space Lakes thing comes to fruition, we should be able to see each other's controller, hands waving around and stuff.
Forget that. Come on, man. That's so unimaginative. I'm calling it right now.
Or at least
Disco dance off right in front of SAG A. You gotta see your moves.
So cool. You walk up to some.
I'm betting money that Alec Turner's got the moves of Travolta.
All right, I'm just going to turn off the orbit lines. Orbit lines are meaningless when you're in a black hole system anyway.
Trax, you want to look behind you?
Do I? Is it behind me?
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, I'm throttled down here. Let's go. Let's see.
So, what is the destination today?
We are. Oh, there's the Nebula. Oh, so I need to wrap around the other side of this black hole to get fun going on.
DJ Wiley, they're heading to Waypoint 11 today.
Yeah, we're gonna make it to 11. That's pretty good.
This is the Spinal Tap stream.
All right, so
They're
I'm gonna
going all the way to 11.
Whoop, there goes black hole, friend. Okay.
Ooh, that Nebula looks good.
Colonia next Tuesday, from whatever.
Yeah, so the next episode, so episode 4 will be on Tuesday. I'm wrapping around the ship here. Oh, I don't know where I put the black hole. I think I did a bad job of... I need to turn this boat around. It's hard. It's hard in the Anaconda.
Never lose the black hole.
Yeah, I just can't... The Anaconda is too big and cumbersome, and I can't keep that black hole where I need it.
You and Hugh Grant.
Jeez.
I knew that was coming. Like, I had a good 5-second pause, and I'm like, here it comes. There it is.
And... Alright. Let's try to get a nice flyby here. Oh, it's a very small one, I guess. I'm only like 1 light second away from it. And it's... Here we go.
I think we just found out the next of our name podcast, gentlemen.
What?
The black hole?
The Anaconda.
Black hole?
The Anaconda and the black hole.
I don't know. According to Elizabeth Hurley, it was a dolphin at best.
Alright, there's the view. I'm trying. Fly directly into the black hole. I don't care. I'll just crash into it. It's in normal space where things get real funky.
That looks cool. That's quite nice.
Yeah.
Clap your hands.
You know what? I feel like Commander Reenie here, hanging out the window, taking...
Mm-hmm.
Nice. He's got to throw out a honky donk reference, and you're there, bro.
Hey, honey, could you pitch up a little bit for me?
This is actually a lot better because the screenshots come out pretty poor in VR. Oh, here we go. Now it's getting real. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is how they all
crash. And here we are. There's something fun. Let's... Anacondas in front of things. Oh, pretty. Quite bright from this angle, actually. So the other weird thing that happens about the rendering of this game in VR is that it ends up based on my headset position. So as I'm spinning my head around, you see the nebula like moving all around in the background, and the same thing kind of happens with smoke. Like if we get smoke inside the cockpit, if I turn my head side to side, it'll like turn with me because it's a flat sprite, which is sort of too bad. But
the black hole's not doing that, is it? It's looking
well,
good
if you
to
look
me.
at it, maybe is it okay for head tracking? I mean, the stars are staying in place, but as I move my head around, like
I mean, I'm getting the lensing, but that seems reasonable.
Is that okay?
I guess.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, maybe I'm just complaining.
Technically speaking, the black hole effect and the graphics that they're doing is actually a lens effect that's happening to
it's like post process.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's actually a setting inside of the I can't remember which one it is now, but you can turn it off and they don't look like that anymore. They look kind of flat, really.
Yeah.
But the sprites you're talking about, like the smoke sprites and some of the sprites around stars and stuff.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy in VR. I wish we could just turn those off, you know?
Yeah, or just make them lock to the ship or something instead. So I'm just going to make a note here of 45 minutes-ish.
You know what's weird here? I've only just noticed this.
Yeah.
It's showing me in the pilot seat, and you're nowhere to be seen.
Oh, well, I'm out in external camera right now. I wonder if that was why.
Huh? Maybe. Let's take this thing back to Sol.
Just put a tow hook on it and drag it back.
Yeah, we're going back. We're going back to drive some SRVs.
The very first Elite Dangerous ship theft just took place.
Yeah.
No, even more than that. Alec is suggesting they throw a tow hook and drag back that black hole. So it would be the first stellar body theft.
All right, I'm back in the pilot seat now. I don't know if it's moved you. Yeah, to me, you're still in the right seat from my view, but I've seen it wig out before.
Yeah, no, I'm in the pilot seat now.
That's good. Wonderful. I'm going to plot our next waypoint. We're going to the Llyn Tegid Nebula. That's how you say that? Lots of nebulas tonight. That's fun. Gal map. Whoa, things are getting real dense in this star field now. Plotting route.
You need a sound for that. Distant screws. It's getting dense.
I know. I was actually going to hop on and record a bunch of other weird ones before I realized I didn't have time. But many of them were going to be a bit MSFW anyway. It looks nuts. That Starfield.
That looks so beautiful. Yeah, man, Colonia is just living in Christmas time, man.
Endless. This is the right distance right here.
Hey, Trax.
What's up?
My God.
It's full of stars.
Oh, we're so corny.
All right, time to escape. Actually, I can probably I might have to pop a heat sink, but I bet I can jump right out of here. Let's try it. Heat sinks at the ready. Oh yeah, this is gonna be bad. All right, let's fire a heat sink. No need to burn the modules yet.
That's what the heat sinks are for.
Hey, Jan, how'd you get your Discord thing to pop up?
Oh yeah, I added that to the stream. So I just did a little search and found a Discord plugin, and it just you feed it a little bit of info about what. Basically, you have to pre-program it for what server and what channel you're going to be in, and then you can customize the look of it a little bit, and then you just add it as a browser source into OBS, and And it remembered.
So it's not in game. It's through
No,
OBS.
no. So it's just I'm not seeing it in my screen, but it's on the stream.
I can tell you because I had that same thing that he's got there when I was playing Final Fantasy 14, and it was directly on my screen. So you can set that up in Discord under the overlays
So
button.
Discord has its own overlays. The trick is that doesn't work in VR.
It doesn't work with me at all because
really?
I tried doing it with without a VR and it wasn't working.
Okay, well I don't know. See, I've never tried to use them because I pretty much only ever play anything in VR. But I thought it would be nice for the stream when people are
it's cool.
chatting. Okay, this was system I didn't bother scanning. So what have I got here? We got only 11 jumps to the next waypoint. Boy, is this going to be a short one today?
Well, that gives you time to then do 10 jumps and then jump around other places and talk with Alec, man.
Yeah. That's right. So, okay. Let's talk about base jumping off of your ship.
Oh yeah.
Who is this a sport yet? Are we gonna start grading each other? Yeah, like doing how many flips you can get. I mean, this should be just like high dive, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I like it actually. You need a good challenge, don't we? Like a standing. What would be the thing? Altitude, I suppose, is the thing you could do.
I would like to see.
I mean, the obvious one is how long can you stay on the back of a Thargoid, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's a high risk, high reward.
Okay. Here's the thing with that idea. Actually, it's a lovely idea, but it kind of relates to what Kai said in the Discord about the devs, the community managers racing.
Yeah,
it's a nice idea, but they're just not going to be that good at it. Okay, so the thing with getting on the back of that Thargoid is that took me a week.
Oh wow!
I was there a whole week trying to do that, and you're seeing the final video. I kind of make it look easy.
Right.
So it's a great idea for a challenge, but I think most people would struggle to even get on the back of the Thargoid, let alone stay on it.
Well, then that becomes the finishing move, then, right? In the Olympics.
And there's a lot of luck in which way when you do that thing where you're on the back of your ship.
Yeah.
And it boosts you up. You don't have much control about which way you're going to go.
The ship does pitch up, right?
Yeah, you're going to go up, but then it's a bit weird because the ship pitches up, but then have you ever ridden on the back of anyone's ship?
Not at all.
The physics are a bit screwy because you sort of bounce off their shields a bit, and the SRV behaves a little bit like an immovable object. And then it just suddenly gets.
There's times where it kind of gets launched up a little bit, like 10 feet. I've done it before briefly on Dubs' ship.
So when you do that thing where you dismiss your ship, it's a bit random where you're going to go.
So here's what I would like to see: you get on the ship, you dismiss the ship.
Yep.
You have to ride that like the Bunking Bronco for, let's say, 15 seconds, and then at the or 10 seconds, whatever, at the 10 seconds mark, right? You start off with ships kind of in a row lined up close together.
Okay.
And then at the 10 seconds mark, you blast, you do a full 5-second boost up, and then the next phase is the falling phase, and in that falling phase you can do whatever maneuvers, whether it's forward flips or sideways flips or whatever maneuvers you want for bonus points.
Yeah.
And then you have to land near a designated landmark. So if you've got 5 guys together, all on their ships, and then you can take off, say, one at a time, and everybody watches and judges each other, and then 10 seconds up, 5 to 10 second boost off of that, whatever bonus point maneuvers.
I do like that. The thing where you do the guys that do skydiving.
Yep.
Have to hit a ground top.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Nice.
So you have to hit within a certain range of the target, the landmark, just in order for your run to be counted. Otherwise, it's nil point.
Right.
But
and then how many points?
If you hit that area, now it's how much style points you earned in your maneuvers on the way down.
So we did a buckyball race. This is a couple of years ago. I think this one called Falling the Style. And there's a really nice mountain right next to a base. So you can just about land on top of the mountain. It's got some landing areas, some flat areas on top. And then you've got a huge base jump all the way down. And then so the race was to start off on the top of the mountain, base jump all the way down, and then get into a garage at the base. And then we did exactly what Kai was suggesting. I kind of had the idea of bonus points for people who did flips and stuff. But it was tricky. Most people didn't do it. Most people were so focused on just getting down that there was only a couple that did really good videos of spinning and flipping.
So the thrusters on the SRV are always pointing at the gravity well, right?
Yeah, roughly. Whenever you hit the boost and the thrusters on the SRV, it's going to push you away from the ground, roughly.
But I see you in your videos leaning it forward to get a lot of forward thrust.
Yeah, so what I mean is they don't push like perpendicular to the ground.
Yeah.
But they'll always push in a roughly downwards direction. So you can get a thing if you're doing what I tend to do to get speed, which is you boost up and then you tilt forwards and then you boost forwards.
Right.
So now you're traveling forwards like a helicopter. If you pitch too far forwards and you go past 90 degrees, you can kind of find that your thrusters actually reverse their direction. You can actually see them in the window in front of you. And so what effectively they're doing is they're now slowing you down, they're pushing you backwards because they flipped from pushing one way to the other. It's a bit weird, but generally I think the idea is that they do the right thing. So what's really nice is if you get into trouble and you're upside down and you don't quite know where the ground is and you know you're falling and you know you're going to hit the ground hard pretty soon.
Yeah.
If you hit boost, you're pretty safe in the knowledge that boost is going to give you more time in the air.
Right, and at the very least it'll slow your impact.
But there isn't a danger that you're boosting straight towards the ground.
Yeah,
kind of
right.
And also, just as importantly, if not more importantly for the layman, when you topple yourself over, you can boost to get you off of your little turtle situation.
Yeah, boosting will lift the ship and then you can pitch it back around so the wheels hit the ground.
Yeah.
I like the idea of using what you just said there, Alec, of if you pitch too far forward, now the thing is actually blasting backwards. I like that as an air brake in the sort of a similar way to, you did a video a week or two ago where you jumped over a ravine onto sort of a little
it's like a mesa or something.
Mesa. Yeah.
And you literally, like, I heard you like a second before you hit the ground, I heard, landing or handbrake on.
Yep.
And it was like, okay. I dig it.
Yeah, because
you don't use the drive assist, right? Because the drive assist being off is important so that when you do your little skips where you touch the ground for a fraction of a second, you need the wheels to be free, or you'll spin out.
I haven't really experimented with that actually. So I tend to use if I'm trying to, once you're doing like 150 meters a second, slowing down is a real problem. If you see an interesting ravine coming in the distance and you think, I want to stop and take a screenshot, chances are you're going to be off the edge of it long before you've managed to stop. So it is a problem. I think. So what I tend to do is put the handbrake on, and then I kind of hope that every time I bounce, I'm going to lose a bit of speed. People have said that actually using drive assist will slow you down more than the handbrake. I haven't really tested it.
I feel like, so as I've not done very much fancy SRV driving, but just in driving around, like if I'm trying to just not have to think about it, having the drive assist on helps, because if you just let go of things, it will come to a stop. But if you're moving a lot very fast, it skids a lot more, because every little change you do, it's immediately like applying brake force and stuff, and like applying mostly I guess just brake force. So you end up with these like skidding issues, and it especially if it's not like a higher gravity world, if it's like
the way that I describe that to people is, whenever I'm driving around, if doing loops around Dab's Hope, I do driver assist on because I'm doing very fine turns at sort of intermediate speed to like weave between the building stacks to pick up the pieces. But if I'm doing overland travel, I go flight assist or drive assist off so that I can just travel better without, because otherwise flight assist on makes you spin out so much.
Yeah. And if it's off, you can let go of the control for a second and it'll just kind of drift in whatever direction it got the last instruction, you know, and it's not going to try to stop you, so you're not going to have such a tendency to skid. Neutron.
I think drive assist on and off, I think the main difference that makes is with drive assist on, both your front and rear axes are turning on your vehicle, which makes for much better, tighter turn radiuses. But when you're trying to go fast, it screws it up because if you have two axes turning, you're much more likely to spin out.
You mean on steering? You mean the steering?
Yeah.
I thought it was just the brake.
The steering works the same whether it's on or off, whether drive is on or off. Yeah.
All right.
So the rear wheels turn in opposite lock to the front wheels, which is great when you're going slow because it gives you a really tight turning circle.
Yeah.
And I think one of the problems that a lot of people have said about the design of the SRV is that they don't, like real cars that do, I think some trucks and lorries have rear wheel steering as well, don't they? That do the same thing.
I've seen some with a little bit of like rear wheel
and
assist.
I think the way they work is that the effect gets less the faster you go. And the SRV doesn't do that. So if you're going fast, that rear wheel steering is what tends to spin you out all the time, I think. Which is why you don't want to land rear wheels first. When you bounce, when you're doing those bounces, you always want to be slightly forwards, if anything.
Yeah.
Definitely not rear wheels first.
Oh, I see. I think we want to check this out. This is a little ringed ice world. High metal. Oh, it's a little ways out. No. We got time, don't we? Let's go see what it's like. Fairly illuminated by this neutron. Yeah, so yeah, okay. Drive assist. That's it was the sort of thing where when I was kind of like learning, like, you know, last year when I was new to the game and I was like learning how to be better at driving, you go on Reddit and you can find all kinds of people essentially throwing shade at each other, like, well, you're not good at this if you use the drive assist. So I played with it being off, and they're like, "Oh, it's so much easier because you won't skid."
You're rubbish.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, like, I turned it off, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get why people who know how to drive this will have an easier time not skidding. Now, at the time as a beginner, I was like, this is crazy. I go to load up into my ship, and I just roll past it because I suddenly have to like counter thrust or whatever, and yeah, if you're trying to do Dav's Hope or something like that, you spend half your time in reverse because you overshot something. But
I guess I'm quite surprised. I don't quite know why Frontier even bothered with drive assist, because it's pretty subtle, isn't it? On and off. I feel like one is like cruise control and one is like, I don't know, just putting your foot down. But
it always seemed to me that it's just like, if it's on and I stop accelerating, it will bring me to a halt. So not like cruise control, but more like an automatic transmission, whereas in my car has a manual.
You have a HOTAS, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know about you, but the throttle for my SRV is my throttle stick. So if my stick's halfway forwards, then whether I've got drive assist on or off, I'm going to go forward at kind of half speed.
Yeah, but if you let go of it. But if you let go of that,
you mean physically move it back to the zero position? Right.
So if I let go of it and the stick falls back to the zero position with drive assist off, it
you slow down faster, you reckon?
Yeah. Well, it just sort of like will drift and eventually stop. So this is weird. This planet is pictured as having a ring, and it definitely doesn't have a ring now that I'm out here.
I can see a ring.
You gotta look farther out, I think.
Yeah,
oh, it's a very dim one. Now
Yep.
I see it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I don't even see how you guys do that, man.
With drive
I
assist?
drive the SRV with my you can definitely see that ring. I drive the SRV with my Xbox controller. I just love driving with the Xbox controller. I don't like doing it with the
I have a little controller I could use.
The way I drive it most of the time, I'm using pitch and roll.
Yeah, you're flying.
Right.
I'm flying it.
Yeah.
So steering is I don't steer it that often.
By the way, the rule is, Alec, you win $1 if you can get JN Tracks to say the word flybing.
Oh, I'll say that now if it's worth $1 to somebody.
Yeah, you have to give $1 to JN Tracks every time.
Oh, I have to give the $1.
Wait, I'm confused.
Like such a good deal.
No, Ty pays for it. It's part of the podcast network.
I guess
get them rings, bro. Get those circles. What are they?
What are those? Yeah, let's find out.
Stuff.
I have a mining laser. I don't have a refinery on this though. I can't hit that last spot.
What good is a mining laser without a refinery?
You can get materials.
Fair. Okay,
and I can. I actually. So, I think I mentioned this in one of the channels. So Benditorite or however you say that. What's this one?
Benditorite.
Musgravite.
Musgravite.
Musgravite. Stop saying things right.
Okay, sorry. Musgravite.
Musgravite. That'll do it. I was the other night when I got on and it wasn't one of these episodes, so I wasn't exploring. I went into the Hazres at the near the Sacagawea port, and I thought, well, this is fine. I'll just get some of those bounties that I needed, and forgot that I had high value cargo in my hold already. So I was immediately besieged by 5 NPCs and was like, okay, oops. And my point defense was doing a very valiant job of shooting down the hatchbreaker limpets, but one of them got to me, and you'll see that I am now only have 9 tons of osmium instead of 10, so I am going to have to get myself a refinery in Colonia and get 1 more ton of osmium.
That's kind of either that or find a buddy who would be willing to drop off a ton that you can scoop up. But like, that is hilarious.
So
the thought
funny.
of you going to a Hazres with rare goods.
Well, I didn't think about it. I was like, well, whatever. I'll just shoot down a couple of eagles and I'll get myself the bounties I need for that engineer. Yeah, very, very good.
That's
very good.
Great. That is great, bro. That shit makes me happy.
All right. Well, that ringed world did not look. On the FSS scanner, the ring world looked very beautifully lit by the neutron star. By the time I got all the way out here, the game decided that wasn't what was going on.
So Alec, I don't know. Have you heard our most recent last week's show from like 2 days ago?
I just got to the bit where I stole Llyn from Trax, so then Trax voted for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure if that was before. No, that was. Oh crap!
That's Kai's question.
Yeah, so he's not at the point yet. Okay, well, later on in that episode, you're going to get to a point where we make a suggestion. I think it was mostly Ty's idea, but it was a group effort between Ty, Trax, and myself. That our suggestion is this. Now that FDev has the Formula 1 license, they should do have. Ty, what's the guy's name? Bobby Brule or whatever.
The one I mentioned was either Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen. So
okay, Lewis Hamilton. They should have Lewis Hamilton come in for an hour for like an interview or whatever, and while he's doing that, you are there in studio with him, and you are teaching him how to buckyball in an SRV, how to drive an SRV well. And then so they spend 1 hour with you teaching Lewis, whatever.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
He's the most winning, our second most winningest Formula 1 driver in history.
And he's my favorite. I've got a poster of him on my wall.
And then we go ahead.
So you take him out for an hour and teach him how to buckyball, and then give him a challenge that he has to do. And that's part 1. Okay. And then part 2 is he takes you over to one of his Formula 1 test tracks, and they throw you in a Formula 1 car, and he teaches you some stuff. And like, obviously they have to do the light version because they can't risk you killing yourself and destroying millions of dollars of equipment. But they have you do a lap around a Formula One track with Lewis Hamilton giving you instructions.
Count me in. You set that up and I'm in.
Right? Wouldn't that be awesome?
Try to keep it under 200 miles an hour.
Now,
The funny thing is, sort of knowing, well, not knowing him, but sort of knowing of Lewis Hamilton a bit and his drive and determination and how good he is. I just know that after half an hour of showing him, he'd probably beat me in the SRV.
the man is ridiculously good. And
he'd pick it up quick, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about Formula One, the thing that a lot of people don't understand, Formula One is not normally driving a car. It's really not. Because
I can get that.
Yeah, well, I kind of figured you would, but like Americans don't, because Americans just think NASCAR, woo, But
NASCAR is so dumb.
Like
NASCAR,
it's 8 hours of slightly left turn.
NASCAR has a lot of skill in it.
No, you know what?
You can take a mediocre.
NASCAR has a ton of skill for the engineers who are doing stuff with the car. The drivers, I don't buy it. The drivers are going slightly left.
You can take a mediocre race car driver, and he will be a good NASCAR driver. Maybe not like Dale Earnhardt or Jeff Gordon level, but you can take a mediocre race car driver and make him a good NASCAR driver. If you put a mediocre race car driver and put him in a Formula One car, he's going to wreck it in turn one.
See, I didn't even know that the kid who did Inception was also a NASCAR race driver.
Chris Nolan?
No, Joseph Gordon. Never mind.
Jeff Gordon.
Joseph Gordon, love it.
Anyway.
Upset him.
There is a lot of correlation between video games and Formula One because to begin with, they have this thing called a KER, and what that means is they have I can't remember what the initials stand for, but what it is it's a battery in the car. Mm-hmm. And every time they brake, it charges the battery.
Kinetic
Kinetic reclamation or energy reclamation.
Yeah, kinetic energy reclamation.
So
we win, Trex.
They can actually use this to give them more power through turns or through acceleration or overtaking or something. But it does cause overheating, so they have to balance it a lot more. They can also have this thing called DRS, which again I can't remember the freaking initials, which allows them to actually change the geometry of their wing on the back to give them a slightly less lift or slightly less push down, so they get a little bit more. So they can only do it at certain points. Like they can only do it at certain points on the track, and they can only do it
radial surface.
Thank you. They can only do it when they're within, I believe it's a second of the person in front of them. So
why is it against the rules, or is it just that it won't
number
work?
One, it's against the rules, and number two, there is it requires a lot more skill to time it out when you can use it.
So for the record, I don't really follow any sports other than occasional football and all the time UFC. But I have absolute respect. I have no respect for Formula One drivers. They can fuck right off. I have absolute respect. I'm sorry. Did I say? I meant
NASCAR.
Damn. Formula One drivers. No. Because I mean, I've done like NASCAR event type whatever on like Gran Turismo game where you can do like you have that one track where it's just the one big circle or whatever, and it's like that is boring as fuck. But Formula One drivers, I have massive respect for because that shit is crazy. And the ones that I have the most respect for, the one that was my favorite of them, is I remember when I was stationed in England on Sunday afternoons, they used to show on it was I think it was on BBC 2 or IT4. They used to show these little rally races where it was two guys in these little teeny cars that were like it was like a Mitsubishi Lancer or like a this and that and the other, and they were on these little like dirt mud tracks, and the driver was driving and the co-pilot was literally sitting next to him with like a notepad on his lap, like a note like that he had handwritten notes. And as they're going through all the turns, the co-pilot guy is screaming like, "Left coming up, 45 left, 40 whatever," and they're like, the guy is literally starting turns before he even makes the corner, and like they're two of them together are just doing crazy buckyball style shit.
Well, rallying.
Yeah,
great.
rallying.
You must have rallying.
Hey, be right back, guys.
Though, don't you?
Some, but not.
You have rallying in the States, no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but not. They don't cover it on national television the way they did in England. I like that. I like that. I thought that was awesome.
The problem is,
like, there's some good video games. Like there's things like Colin McRae Rally and stuff like that on Xbox, and they have the same thing. So they have you can sort of turn it on, and it's like a voice assist, and it will sort of say. They have numbers for how tight the turn is. So a 1 is a really gentle turn, and a 9 is, so you'll have this voice sort of saying a 4 right, 3 left, 2 left, 5 right.
See, I dig that.
See, and you need it because you need to prepare for the turn before you get there.
So number one, for whatever reason in America, and I've never quite understood it, every motorsport is basically thrown by the wayside except for NASCAR. And NASCAR is the only thing that has any sort of TV licenses or anything. And
it's the boringest one.
My point with
that seems weird because it's so dull to watch.
It really is. I don't understand it. I think the only thing I can think is that people look at it and they think, okay, this is a car. This is a car race. They look at a Formula One car and they're like, well, it's a jet. This is not a real jet. This is not a real car. That's because, I mean, I want to say it.
I suppose the NASCAR cars look the most like an American muscle car, so it's the kind of car that people can relate to.
Right. That's what I was getting at. You put it as usual. You stated it better than I did, Alec.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah, but I know it's your thought. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But what I was saying before about like
why
the
Pixar made cars.
Yeah. What I was saying before about like the about the different boosts that they can use, like the KER and the DRS. Yeah. I kind of bet if you put Alec into a Formula One and you give him a few days to kind of get the feel of it, I think he could actually be competing at the very least in Formula 2 level.
Maybe.
I'm dead serious.
Did you ever hear of a guy? Do you know a guy called Guy Martin? You probably don't over there.
I have heard of him, but I'm not playing. The name sounds familiar.
So Guy Martin is a pretty famous Isle of Man TT motorbike racer. He's a sort of world champion at that. But he's done a few TV series now, and he's really into cars and fast machines, and so he's done stuff like land speed record attempts and things like that. And he had a go. So there was one episode which I think was filmed over the course of a week where he tried to drive a Formula One car. And I get exactly what you mean. For the first few days, he could barely make it move 10 feet without stalling it or spinning it, or those things are so on the edge, so on the edge that you put your foot down and you just go around in a circle, or he could barely drive it.
They're not your typical car, and I'm a big believer that Formula One. Don't get me wrong, Formula One requires a lot of engineering and a lot of skill to do that. Yeah. But NASCAR is an engineer's race.
Yeah, I got tons of respect for the NASCAR mechanics,
engine makers, and all that.
Sure.
Right.
Because for them, that's even way harder than anything else. Because at least Formula One, you can go balls out and say, we've developed this awesome thing, whatever. With NASCAR, they force you to be within all, like, you have to have more or less even. So like, oh, I made a lighter thing. Fine, we're going to put weights on your car because it has to match everybody else. So like for them, that's the genius game of inches of like, you have to find the most minuscule little teeny tiny advantages and maximize them. So I have tons of respect for the NASCAR mechanics and engineers. The drivers, I could do that.
You probably could, because it's, I mean, in no disrespect to any real NASCAR drivers who actually might be listening to this, but you know, there's gonna be some people who's listening to this and we're like, oh, you guys are just hating on NASCAR. When you really understand it, and you watch other races, you know, just go watch American IndyCar, go watch rally racing or something where it takes ridiculous skill to drive the vehicle. And in NASCAR, I mean, I'm not even kidding, dude. They will actually set the car up to where it automatically kind of, you know, turns to the left a little bit, and they're having to steer right on straights. I'm not kidding. That's what they do.
No, I know. They changed the tire pressure.
Yeah. Now, there is a lot of engineering in NASCAR, and there's a lot of engineering in Formula One, but when you get right down to Formula One, the cars are basically even, like design-wise. So,
I think a lot of that probably shakes out in NASCAR too. It's just it's very secretive, right? I mean, the issue, sorry, I'm jumping back into the middle of a conversation because I stepped away for a minute, but like NASCAR has a history in the United States because it came from like prohibition and stuff. Like it's related to other historical events. That's why that's what's going on here. It's not even just because it's cars. It's because it started as these cars that were disguised as regular cars, but they were trying to outrun police and do all this like underground networking and stuff. And so they souped up otherwise normal looking cars and would call them stock cars.
When you say underground networking, my brain went to the Underground Railroad, and now I'm making an awesome movie of escaped slaves in NASCARs.
It's a reimagining of history.
Just roaming past the cops. That's hilarious.
Dale Earnhardt travels through time. He goes back in time. He meets Harriet Tubman, and they build.
No. First off, they have a love story. Dale Earnhardt and Harriet Tubman make sweet, sweet love. And then
so we're failing the test right away then.
And then afterward, well, no, we're also pissing off a ton of people from the South that are just not cool with that. But anyways,
right on.
And then Dale Earnhardt, like fucking what's his name from the Fern Gully movie that James Cameron made? What was it called? Avatar.
Avatar.
Yeah. So then he just Fern Gully's a whole fuckload of escaped slaves and takes them down to like say, I don't know, Michigan or like New York State or something, and is like, all right, you're good now, and then turns around and brooms back.
That's a wonderful idea. I think either Netflix or Apple Plus should probably pick that up and make that a show. I also think it's funny.
Don't say that too loud. Netflix will pick it up. They pick up everything.
I also think it's funny that you gave us the age-appropriate warning at the beginning, and
well, no, the kid's out of here.
Oh, okay. I was about to say you're the first one to break it.
No.
I broke it earlier when I noticed he was out.
He's been he's been in the AFK channel for like the last half hour, which is why I'm talking regular now. Before that, I was like, okay. And the thing is, and no offense. Well, hello, welcome back.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so I
awkward.
I think this is great TV, personally. I stepped away to to refill my coffee, and I wonder if we've been in kind of prime screenshot territory. I've been at the next waypoint here for a little while because I'm flying all the way out to take a look at these. I think there's an Earth-like or a water world out here somewhere. Now I'm forgetting. But anyway, this is one of the waypoints, a nebula illuminated from within.
That's kind of funny. You flew me to this beautiful waypoint, and I should be outside taking screenshots, and I'm sitting in here talking about NASCAR to these two idiots.
Well, we're getting to the good stuff, I think. So this is a beautiful blue nebula with a neutron star as the A star, and we've been flying out now for the past few minutes toward the B star, where there is, I think it's a water world. We'll see. There's a couple of things that are worth mapping, and we can do some fly arounds and stuff. But the first couple waypoints, Alec, came real quick.
You realize, Alec, that you are literally living the American dream right now. You are sitting inside instead of being outside while you watch NASCAR or talk about NASCAR.
Yeah.
Oh,
the only thing missing from your hand is a Bud Light and a Bud Light and a Rebel flag. That's the only thing missing, buddy.
I was confused there for a minute. I thought when you said you're living the American dream, I thought you meant that he was doing Driving Miss Daisy, but with a white driver.
Oh.
I got a baseball cap on, I'm halfway there. Hey, look, guys, I'm going to have to split, actually, because it is family film night, and it's my turn to choose.
Right on.
Oh, what are you going to watch?
I don't know. It's a toss-up between Guardians of the Galaxy or a thing called Jupiter Ascending. Anyone seen that?
Oh, I've seen that, yep.
Yeah.
That was fun,
yeah.
Jupiter Ascending. Skip
Oh,
that.
I thought it was all right.
It was...
Haterade.
It's Channing Tatum on rollerblades is all I got to say.
On rollerblades in space.
Is it that sci-fi rollerblading film?
No, it's
he has boots that seem to work like hoverboard roller skates.
Okay. I don't know now.
I thought
You know
it was
what?
clever.
Take a family on a blast through the past, and pop in the Last Starfighter.
Damn, I don't think I've got it.
I thought Jupiter Ascending was good.
Amazon. You can get it on Amazon for like $3.
It's
it's tempting.
wasn't that the Wachowskis?
Mila Kunis, right?
Made that, and Mila Kunis is in it. Yeah, I thought it was a good flick.
Mila Kunis.
Don't look to it for scientific accuracy. It is a fun action film with lots of good graphics.
Mila Kunis.
Ascending or
Jupiter Ascending.
okay.
I mean, I love Guardians of the Galaxy as well. I'm trying to counteract Ty's vote.
I've seen Guardians loads of times. We all have. So I wanted to see something new. I think
Last Starfighter. And also Mila Kunis is definitely worth seeing.
Well, after you watch Jupiter Ascending, let me know, bud. Okay.
Okay, we'll do. All right.
Have a good
All
night.
right, thanks for coming,
for the
man.
ride out here. Good luck on the rest of the journey. I'll see you guys in Discord.
Right
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Hey, thank you again for that stuff.
No problem. More coming your way next week.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Surface scan complete. Telepresence crew
Let's see.
member
Pew pew.
6 and 5. We came up on 6 first. It's a high content, high metal world, but it's terraformable and has an atmosphere already, so. I can get out of my view here.
All right, guys. It's time to get screwy.
That's quite something. Let's get a little closer. Oops. There we go.
All right, these berserkers gotta go. They're pissing me off.
How you coming?
90%.
Wow. Yep. Well, I should have taken the under then, I think, or I still misunderstand gambling.
Yes, taking the under would have been the smart move.
Uh-huh.
Considering the original bet was for the 4th of July.
Right. Yeah. And then the change from that was
I think Ty
next
owed me
week.
a steak and a Cuban cigar and having a redhead sent over to sing happy birthday.
I don't remember agreeing to all that. I'll buy you a steak though. The Cuban cigar and the redhead. I mean, they're staying here, so.
Those are not packaged for individual resale.
They are not packaged.
Oh,
for
I
individual
definitely
resale.
don't want that one used.
Oh, terrible.
Hey,
Terrible.
singing telegrams are completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris, you there? Chris? All right. I was going to ask him, how did he hear about us, being that he lives in Norway? But I guess he's AFK for a moment.
I had a feeling it might be
Down to Earth Astronomy?
that's what I was trying to think of. Jesus.
No, Jesus was not from Norway. I checked.
Okay. That's
But
good to know.
he was from sort of... Well, actually, he was from Jordan, and then, but was born in Bethlehem, not Pennsylvania.
So many states have a
Israel.
Bethlehem.
Israel.
Surface scanned by 50%.
The more you know. The more you scan. I want to make that one. The more you scan. I'll have to do that one in harmony like before. That'll be nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ty, you and I need to do something today.
Yeah, I thought about it like late last night, man.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. What you eating? I hear something. I want some food. Hook a brother up.
I mean, this ain't even good. I made me. So I have weird tastes. All right.
All right.
So you guys all know that I make my own salsa, or I think Kai does.
That was news to me, but now I've already absorbed it into my wealth of knowledge. So.
Also, on his weird taste thing, he's got a fetish for Oprah Winfrey. Go ahead.
Anyway, so I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I like even more is peanut butter jelly and salsa.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm not. I'm good. You. That's all you.
So, and I don't put it on the same sandwich. Don't misunderstand me.
Okay.
But I make PB&Js, and then I get salsa. I dip it every now and then, but I give me some chips and salsa is what I do. And
that is okay. I thought you were saying peanut butter jelly and salsa. I was like, I'm out, my friend.
No. I have tried it on the sandwich. It is a bad idea.
Oh yeah, that's a very bad idea.
Dipping it every now and then is good. But what I really like to do is like get a little bite of PB&J.
Have a chip, yeah.
And then get a chip with some sauce on it and kind of mix it in my mouth.
What that is sweet and savory. I dig that.
Right.
But the actually putting the salsa on the bread, I'm not. No, I'm good.
Right.
That's weird.
Wow, Trax is judging you. He looked at you and said #judging. I'm with you, bro. Even on the Oprah Winfrey thing, I say, let your freak flag fly.
Man, like months from now, you're gonna be like, remember that time you said you like Oprah Winfrey? I'm like, I did not say that.
That was you.
Yep. Yep. Months from now, I'm gonna whip that one out. Distant screws. Ty likes peanut butter, jelly, and salsa, and Oprah Winfrey. That's good. It's good. It's a long one, but
it's a long one.
Distant screws.
Oprah Winfrey.
There you go.
O magazine.
The O stands for something else in Ty's house.
You're terrible.
You come over, you'll find out.
No, I'm not coming over. I've heard about your dungeon, bro. I'm not coming over. I'm not coming over. I can handle myself. I can handle myself in a scrap, but I have a feeling you're gonna hand me a peanut butter and jelly and salsa sandwich, and then I'm gonna wake up on the floor wondering why am I chained to this radiator?
How did I get
there's
here?
a reason why there's two different jars in my fridge, right?
See?
That's 5 gas giants. It's funny that gas giants aren't worth more, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like
they're just very abundant.
Yeah,
I feel like they will be worth more soon.
Yeah. Maybe not in data price, but in something else.
No, I think in data price. I think as the scooping them comes into the game, the Universal Cartographics will all of a sudden start to care about them and start offering more.
You think we'll get paid retroactively for it?
Nope.
I do not.
Yeah, I don't think so either. However, if we do get paid retroactively, there's going to be a bunch of people who's going to sit there and go, Why didn't I surface scan this thing? It only takes 16 freaking probes.
Yeah, 48 probes.
Oh.
I clicked on one once because I was going to scan it because of the rings.
Yeah.
And there was like 36 probes, and I was like,
that's your bonus.
What the hell?
I've done a few
Nope.
in my day, but
For me, that's a big bowl of nope.
yeah, they're not worth the money, so it
Nope.
ends up getting pretty silly.
I'm just glad that we're not having to manufacture probes and
Yeah.
or refill them or reload them or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm. Infinite probe ammo. I dig that. I'm going to just start attaching hand grenades to all my probes.
Warning. Temperature.
Then you run out of hand grenade ammo.
Yeah, but it's easier to manufacture hand grenades. You can buy the case and then,
You know, I read a deal that basically said that the speed of the probe is faster. Like, you gotta think about it. They're at the very least, the starting speed of all probes is at least 30 kilometers a second.
Yep.
Which is faster than every freaking missile
ammunition,
in the game. Yeah.
by far, by a long shot.
The
Well, it
only
seems
thing
to-
that beats it is railguns, because railguns move at the speed of light.
Or close enough that we can't tell the difference.
Right. Near the speed of light, technically.
It seems to me that the probes have to be photonic somehow. They have to
Yes.
not be. They have to not be massive particles.
They
Whatever
are
they
Spock
are.
projectiles.
Yeah. Spock projectiles.
Mm-hmm. They are photon torpedo.
Photon torpedoes.
Photon torpedoes of knowledge.
I don't have anything to add. I feel like you really nailed it. I'm not gonna make an Alien 3 and ruin that, you know?
It reminds me of Next Generation, like the first couple seasons of Next Generation. They only filmed like 1 or 2 photon torpedo launches, right?
And they're just
Well,
reusing their stock photography.
Well, they used the restocked photography for that, and when they launched probes the first couple of seasons, they're like, probably like launch a probe, and it's like, nah, this is the animation, or this is the footage you used when you launched a torpedo 30 minutes ago. I know this shit.
Right.
So, guys, unfortunately, Chris Clar is here with us, but he just messaged me and said his mic is broken. So,
Oh no.
he can. Chris, just type whatever you're gonna type. Remember how I said don't send me direct messages because you're under 18. Just post it in general, and we will definitely see it. I'm trying to fix. No problem, man. It's
No
all
worries.
good.
No worries.
We got you. But so he can still hear, so he'll just
Excellent.
type responses in general or whatever. I had suggested to him that it's a good idea to not send any direct messages to anyone in this Discord, to only type messages in general or put links in chat or whatever. If you need help, people will help you. And you can even put @Kai or @Ty or @Trax or @whoever,
Sure.
and
Hang
people
us.
will definitely help you. But it's just a good idea for people under 18 to not send direct messages to people that, at least people that their parents don't know directly.
Yeah, and that's just good habit. Good habit anyway. Absolutely.
I have a feeling
And
you're
it's
saying
not-
that just because I'm in here.
Yes, I didn't want to say it bluntly, but look, here's the thing. Chig is a weirdo, so don't talk to him. He's
Right, and I was trying to
dirty.
cover up that fact by saying that's just good habit for everybody because you never know if Chig's gonna be in there.
Yeah, and for the record, if you ever see Chig driving by in a Cobra Mark III that says candy on the side of it, don't get in.
Nope. There's never candy in a Cobra Mark III.
All of this is sound advice.
And don't in any way take that as us not wanting to talk to you, because we definitely do. Just in public, it's all good.
We want to practice safe behaviors for everyone at all times.
Wow, Ty jumped into Wing 1 and then back. For a second there, he thought he was too good for us.
Complete.
Just for a second, and then I realized that everybody
not.
is good for me.
What was I just looking for? Oh,
For
how
that
many
1
jumps?
second,
18
it was
jumps.
glorious, wasn't it?
No, for that 1 second, I thought that I wasn't good enough for. And then I realized that everybody's good enough for me. So I'm talking out my butt as I was.
It's just a matter of lowering your standards, really.
Fair point.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
Passed 1,000 kills in a CQC tie.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are you? Have you beat professional yet? Are you past professional
Oh
yet?
fuck no, that's that. I'm not. I don't even think I'm 50%. It takes fucking forever. I can't. Well, 1,000 kills is 5% of the way to elite.
So all you need is 20,000 kills. Duh.
Yep.
Theoretically.
19,000 more. Theoretically, yes.
Guys, I think I fixed it.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
I don't know what's happened, but I thought my mic was dead, but it wasn't.
Well, cool.
That was a hassle and a half.
Right on. So, how did you hear about us all the way in Norway?
I just searched for Elite Angels, and I looked for podcasts, and I just saw your guys' podcast.
On what platform did you find us?
Spotify.
Oh, nice.
I have the premium. So
Very cool. Swanky.
Yeah, I could look at Spotify or listen to Spotify. I'm using that every day, actually.
Very cool.
I'm at episode like 29, or no, not 29. What did I say again?
19.
19 was it? I think I just begun on 19. No, actually, I'm gonna look if I actually just begun on 19.
Right on.
Stars here.
All right, 95.
I'm actually 14 minutes and 14 seconds into the podcast.
Auspicious.
Yeah, I just looked at how long I'm listening to that podcast. I'm a little behind, but I'm catching up slowly.
No worries.
Well, this is shaping up to be not a gruelingly long episode, which is really how I intended them all to be, but this is living and learning.
Mm-hmm. And then you get loves.
Yep.
I just want to get to Beagle Point already.
Spoiler alert, Snoopy's not there.
What? Oh my goodness gracious. I want to drop a bunch of F-bombs on that, but I'm not going to.
It's funny you mentioned that, chick, because like I've been kicking around, basically deviating and heading up to Beagle Point too, because it's one of the few places well, there's a bunch of places I've never been, but it's one of the few like famous places I haven't been in game.
Yeah, just one of those game bucket list things. That's why I'm doing it. But holy fuck, it is a trek.
Yeah, it's a ways out here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm currently 60,000 light years from Sol.
You find an Earth light?
No.
40,000 from Colonia.
Hi.
Yeah.
Can you type? You know the center black hole?
Sagittarius Eye?
Yeah, can you type that in general
A?
or anything so I can? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because I want to go there.
Sure.
Make my way out there.
Right on. Hold on 1 second. All right, so at Chris Clark, it's SAGITTARIUS-A star.
Star usually done with an asterisk.
Frameshift drive charging.
for abbreviation purposes.
Yeah, but I think he's going to type it into his.
So I want to stretch between, Sag A and heading to Beagle Point. Probably 300 jumps were all first discoveries. Now I'm about 100 jumps from Beagle Point.
Yep. Everybody's been there.
Oh my god, yeah. And there's so fewer stars that, everybody kind of travels the same paths. Everything's discovered already.
Beagle Point? I've never been to Beagle Point, actually. I haven't even traveled to the center.
Yeah. Imagine going to Sagittarius A and then doing that twice more.
They're again twice more over.
So basically, Chris, people just call it Sag A. They just say Sag A.
Okay.
Just say it short. Ugh. Blew it on this jet cone.
Chick, when I was heading out that way, I was actually in my vet with I want to say it was like a 21 light. And I got, I believe, 2 jumps from it, but as you get closer out that way, you have to get, back then, you had to get really smart how you plotted your jumps.
Yeah, well, I think you need at least a 32 to even get there.
Yeah. I didn't know this back then.
Japonium and all that.
Yeah.
But I think that was before Japonium, so.
Yeah.
Would you say, Chris, you have a 36?
Yes, I have 36 light year jump, so yeah.
Jump range,
it's fine.
Well, you're going to Sag A, you're going to the inside. There, it's easier and easier to find jumps. He's going to Beagle Point, which is on the outside, so it's harder.
Yeah, stars get closer together versus farther apart. If it's less dense star field, then there might only be one star within 30 light years of the one you're at. Here, if I look at my nav panel, I'll look at it in a second, but it's ridiculous. Yeah, all the stars are so plentiful and so close, you could do anything and not spend any fuel hardly.
I see you, Chig. You're getting there, buddy.
I'm getting close. It's maybe 6,000 light years to go.
You know what just occurred to me when you said, I see you, Chig? I was like, hey, Chigga. And I was like, where is Rabbit?
Haven't seen him in a week.
Yeah, where's all the UK folk? That was the whole point of
being home all week. They could be COVID. They're all living in COVID land where you're.
Yeah, it should mean that they're all online.
One of the things that Chig mentioned, Chig he owns a cleaning company, and I know he told me Rabbit, yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of business for them then, I guess.
Yeah, there's he was telling me that he got ramped up with a bunch of stuff, so.
You guys see this star field? Turn off the
Good
lines.
Stuff.
I'm actually on a different tab. Oh yeah.
Let's get out there.
I can't find it. It won't search for it.
Did I spell it wrong? Hold on.
I think you might have done it because I tried without star 2. It doesn't.
Okay.
Try that.
Okay.
Actually, I think you did spell it right, but there's no dash. Like when you're trying to plot toward it, I don't think there's a dash.
Yeah, just do the word Sagittarius. Just Sagittarius, and then it just comes right up as Sagittarius A star.
Now there's a station 1 jump away from it.
Yeah.
Called Explorers Anchorage, and this is the system here. I'm not going to try to type it out, but I'll post a screenshot of it.
I'm going to plot the route to that system though.
I always kind of tell people to go there first because usually when I have never jumped into Sag A without getting immediately thrown out of Super Cruise. So.
Oh really? You just always hit normal space.
I'm hanging so low.
No, he's talking about getting very close to the thing and you might overheat or issues.
Oh, okay, now I understand. Yeah, I'm gonna land at that station.
There's a very narrow window for ships as far as when you come out at Sag A, whether or not you start overheating. And I overheated my Vet, and I overheated my Phantom. And every video I've seen on it, people get there and they immediately come out of Super Cruise when they jump in. So I always tell people to go to the station first and then dock there.
Just
That way,
too
worst case
massive.
scenario, you're jump out. So.
And then you can sell off your data too.
Right.
Yeah,
If
I
you
wonder
want
how
to.
much data. I'm gonna probably scan every planet I come across to see how much money I get. Or should I just straight line it to there?
It depends how fast you want to go. I mean, there's a lot of money to be made in scanning everything, but it'll take, eight times as long probably.
Yeah, that's what happens to me because I usually use I like go to I want to go to a place that's like 100 jump, and I've used don't even try to laugh, but I'm still laughing. It's I use a type 7 to get. I try to get 100 jumps, not type 7 to a place, and I just frick it. No, I don't want it. I don't want to do. I'm going back.
You give up.
Well,
Yeah,
don't be in a rush. Take your time and really, look around and
but
enjoy
even
it.
type 7
Yeah.
transport ship. I think I only got it to 36 like your jumps. Like it was so bad, but I don't have my Asp Explorer now. It doesn't have that much jump range, I guess. So yeah.
Ah, there they are. Scanning this system for some reason. Got some nice rings and stuff. There we go.
System scan complete.
Well, getting down to it here. So let's see, 12 jumps from the destination. Hope we keeping an eye on that fuel. We're all right for a little while.
Oh, that system has 750k people in it. Or population. I didn't realize that.
No.
Now.
Populated.
I can't apparently set up properly. It's out of distance for me.
Out of distance, or maybe there's something blocking you?
No, distance exceeded. Maximum distance exceeded. I'm just gonna put a bookmark on it and just go from there.
Plot something a little closer.
Might be a little too far to jump from the bubble to Sagae.
I'm not far from the bubble. I'm probably just like 4 or 5 jumps from the bubble. Or actually, I'm still in the bubble. I think. I'm gonna look. Am I still in the bubble?
20,000 max
no, I'm
is.
out of the bubble. I'm out of the bubble. Definitely, I can't see any colors like blue or any of those colors, so I'm out of the bubble. But I'm not that far out of the bubble. I'm gonna go to there, plot it around route now, and just see if I can go there now. And then.
Yeah, see Beagle Point out here, the in-game plotter just it was having a hell of a time plotting Beagle Point. It wouldn't let me plot to Beagle Point till I was about 12,000 out.
You have to go manual.
Yeah, it's 75,000.
Yeah, it would keep failing. Then I would have to replot again. I'd find some stars near there that it would plot to.
Yeah.
There's a world somewhere here. I can't find it in the FSS.
I hate when that happens.
Ugh. What's the point of finding the oh, there we go. Just found it. It's like it finds the orbital plane but doesn't draw it on my screen. There we go.
So everybody who's not on VR, take a quick scan of the off-topic channel.
I'm afraid.
Oh, I can only imagine.
bit quiet right now.
Sorry, I'll. What do I do?
Fine.
You can sing.
I don't
Sing.
care. I'm quiet. Quiet.
It's distant screws.
Trax,
Yeah.
Chris just texted me and said, tell Trax, dance, monkey, dance!
But you wouldn't be able to see if I. Okay, this is what it looks like when I dance.
I don't
Nobody
do that.
wants that.
Wow, this is the stream where Trax danced for children. I'm definitely writing my congressman.
Oh, man. Wait, who cares about your congressman?
I'm sure my congressman's husband or wife does.
Maybe.
I mean,
Well,
maybe.
yeah, I mean,
they've been married.
let's not just take that as a given.
All right, their secretary for sure does, because without them, like, they're out of job.
Or their
No.
interns.
Yeah. What? I'm not talking about anything inappropriate.
Neither am I.
Okay.
I mean, you were trying to talk about something inappropriate.
I was not.
I'm going to
Talk to my lawyer.
nuke away. System is called nuke away or something like that.
Wow, nuke away, huh? You're just gonna kill all the indigenous people.
I didn't
kill
name the
nuke it from
system.
space. It's the only way, huh?
It's the only way to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, so my Thargoid killing chieftain is called Game Over Man.
Game over.
Nice.
Game over,
Game
man.
over, man.
Right, but I'm not
great
going
Bill
out there with
Paxton.
those things. So, but I missed my chieftain, so I need to like build an alternate version back in the bubble that I can fly in Hazres and stuff. And I figured that one would be called Just to Be Sure, or It's the Only Way to Be Sure.
It's a whole lot.
You know, we missed the opportunity. We could have tweeted that on the announcement of his passing. Game over, man.
Game over, man.
I like Bill
Yeah.
Paxton. He was cool.
It was.
I liked him
Wonderful.
as Chet in Weird Science. I liked him as the weird dude that married all them ladies in Big Love. I liked him in. He was good in. He was in the Terminator, the first one.
Yep.
He was good in. He was awesome in. What do you call it? Aliens.
Ooh, Navy SEALs.
He was, yeah. I just remember Charlie Sheen from that movie was so craptacular.
I know, it was horrible.
That movie, at one point, Charlie Sheen, they're sitting there, they're talking.
Guys, I found a water-based Earth or planet.
Awesome.
Waterworld?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Ride, postman, ride.
Now the question is, has it been discovered yet?
Well, it has, by you, if nothing else.
Nope, it has been discovered.
Yep. Well, you're very close to the bubble, so everything will have been discovered.
Yeah.
Except
But
Roxanne.
Just here's what you do: stay in the same direction you're going, and jump 57 jumps, and from then on, you're going to be finding a bunch of stuff that's not discovered.
Yeah, I'm making my way to the center of the galaxy.
Right on.
But then the way back is gonna be a lot of grind.
What ship are you in exactly? You're in
An
Asp Explorer.
Not
And-
even maxed out.
Okay, do you have, for example, AFMUs? Do you have repair limpets? How are you? No? Okay.
I don't have a repair limpet. I don't have an FSD booster. I only have a fuel scoop, a 6B.
Good God, stay home.
Drive, but not maximum or not max engineered thruster. 5A. I don't know if I should have.
So let me recommend that you might want to sort of stay in the bubble and work on, like, you don't even have to do so much engineering, but you probably want to spend a little bit of time equipping your ship to make it sort of better equipped at a long range exploration trip. Maybe.
Yeah, to have the fuel scoop be A rated would be really nice.
Number one.
Have an AFMU.
But I don't need a 6A fuel scoop. It's 28 million, so I'm not gonna spend that much money. But
Fair.
I don't care like how long it takes me to fuel good because I don't put in a fuel tank. I use the fuel tank that's already in the Asp Explorer.
Well, if you're certain you're ready, then you knock them dead.
Yeah, maybe. Should I get repair limpets?
Well, so especially if you don't want to take the time to A-rate some things like your fuel scoop and stuff like that, and you don't care how long it takes you, then having repair limpets and an AFMU will be useful, because then, like, when you're out there, if you're by yourself and you end up needing repairs because you've been a long time, that's what's going to save you, is having that stuff.
What is that? Actually,
it's the auto field maintenance unit. It is a machine on your ship that can repair your modules.
Yeah, I just
That's a must.
needed a refresher. I'm actually going to turn back and get one. I think I know where one is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm out here without repair limpets.
Yeah, but you can synthesize them.
Right, and
I don't have a limpet controller.
Well, then you suck.
For the sake of the expedition, I did
balls.
every 3 or 4 or 5 waypoints there's a station, so it's because of the way I drew the route. So it's really like a very not dangerous expedition, but
very new player friendly.
Right.
And in fact, you may want to do the expedition route, Chris. You may want to sign up for that and do the expedition route, because then you have all kinds of cool things to see on the way, and you have kind of little regular garages you can stop at every couple of waypoints and get repairs and fix yourself up and kind of dust yourself off.
If you were following this route, then I wouldn't be so concerned about having limpets or an AFMU.
Yeah, but I don't know how to use the neutron star or the...
That's
you
okay.
Don't need to.
You don't need to.
You don't need to. You do have to know how to use EDSM though, so that you can see all of the waypoints or whatever.
Yeah,
or
but that's just a website.
Yeah, but it's easy. Trax can talk you through it in 2 minutes.
No, actually, I'm not gonna go into that. I'm just gonna be ready to go to Sagittarius A or.
Sure.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna make myself ready for it. So.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what, Trax?
Yeah?
Chris Clark just said the future is now, old man.
What do you mean about that?
I mean, you got a better way. You're just going right for Sag.
No, let's not waste any time.
I'm just gonna go back and get the repair limpets, and then I'm gonna head out.
So here's what you got to do, Chris. You got to say, "Hey, Trax," and then when he says yes, then you say, "Okay, Boomer," and then you just go right for Sag.
Okay, I'm probably not gonna do that, but I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Fair enough.
Well, it sounds like he figured you out, Kai, really quick.
Yeah. Not gonna do what you say.
I'll listen, and then decide carefully not to follow your advice.
Fair enough.
You're not the boss of me.
In fairness, it's probably the prudent tact.
All well and good.
Like, I don't know even what the expedition does in the distance group is.
Right. Right.
So, yeah,
you have to watch out. You have to weigh it out. Like, is Trax grooming me? This is probably not good. And then go your own way.
Oh, jeez.
I may just wait until I'm caught up in the podcasts, but...
Fair enough.
I thought he was just saying I might just find a new podcast.
No. I'm going to listen through this one until it's done, and wait until more podcasts, and more things are coming out, and then I'm going to listen to those while I'm going to Sagittarius A without getting the Guardian FFD booster.
Yeah.
And getting a 6A fuel scoop. So yeah, I'm just gonna make it. I'm gonna make my way out.
You do you.
Right.
You do you.
Personal challenge.
Also, I hear good things about Fortnite.
Don't even talk about Fortnite. That's cancer for me.
Oh no!
Fair enough.
You're pushing some buttons, Kai.
All I know is Chig is actually on a professional Fortnite league. He's a professional Fortnite streamer. He's fairly famous, but only in Idaho.
Which is what we mean by fairly famous.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about Apex, but not.
Oh wow.
As I call it.
He just hijacked the stream.
Apex.
Chig is awesome at Apex. He is an Apex legend, in fact.
Okay, Boomer. Am I using that right?
Okay, why did you say that? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not kidding. That doesn't make any sense.
Correct.
Oh, I'm wacky that
being
way.
an expert at something part.
That makes no sense. He's like, I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it.
Not that weirdo.
That guy. You guys told me to avoid his Cobra.
Chig's still playing PUBG. I was just joking.
Playing Minecraft as we speak.
Right on. Oh man, I'll send you later on. I'll send you a link to my Christian Minecraft server.
Oh, please do. They will enjoy me, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
under how long before I get banned.
This is being a little weird.
Yeah.
It becomes really weird. All began with, like, I'm talking about going to said Series A and I didn't have maxed out everything, and then we just.
Oh, we're just talking. We talk about all different kinds of games in this server. Like we talk about everything. I know Ty is super excited for Baldur's Gate 3 that's coming out.
Never heard of that.
They just put a commercial out. It's coming out. It's a game that's coming out in the next 6 months or whatever. It looks amazing. But we talk about all kinds of games here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that from the podcast. That's sometimes a real big hazard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Think of it,
You're like, thumbs down.
No, actually, I'm not thumbs down, but like it makes my brain just what? First they're talking about Elite Dangerous, then talking about what are the games?
Star Citizen.
Yeah, Star Citizen or anything like just doesn't make any sense.
Right, it's silly.
68 bodies in that system. Does this win me anything?
Considering Rotor Geek posted one the other day with like 108, I'm gonna go ahead and say not so much.
108?
100 and something. It might have been more than 108.
Yeah, I can't even say that name.
I Spy Story Time is the name of the channel. Oh, you mean the system? Yeah, 103. Okay.
The system I found the black hole in, like, oh my god, I don't even remember the name. There was 50 bodies in that system. It's insane. That's the most bodies I've ever seen in a system myself. Like, I've never seen that many bodies in a system. And 4 of them, or I just put out 5 fingers, but 4 of them was, or 3 of them is a star, and 1 of them is a black hole. But it's 4 because black hole actually counts as a star.
As a star, yep.
Right on, man.
Type of star, anyway.
Now I'm feeling my voice is getting hurt and I'm beginning to shake. I don't know why.
Okay.
That makes no sense why I'm beginning to shake. My hand is beginning actually to shake. I'm not even kidding.
Don't sneeze on anybody you care about.
Yeah, do not sneeze on anybody. Or don't even give a hug to anybody.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Don't even touch somebody.
It's all good. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. Our schools or everything is closed. Like everything.
Yeah.
Like, nothing is open.
Do you know what I would have given if I was your age when I was 12? If they would have come to me and said, "Hey, schools are going to be closed. You have to stay home for the next couple of weeks," and I could play Elite Dangerous, I would have been like, "Life good." That's a result, right there.
I'd have been home playing Pool of Radiance.
Yes.
Commodore 64 for days.
No, bro. On the Amiga. God, you peasant.
Commodore
you
64.
peasant.
Before the Amiga was out, dude.
Amiga 2500, you peasant.
Shit.
That and then Sid Meier's Pirate. Oh
man. Sid
Pool of Radiance, Champions of Kryn. Come on. And then later when they came out with, what was that? Quest 6 or 7. It was the one that had the 3D maps, and everybody was like, oh. And they had those elephant guys that had the blunderbusses. Oh. Rhino, elephant,
Good
whatever.
God, what was the name of that one?
Something Quest.
Brains.
Quest something. Wizard's Quest 7. Wizards and Wizards
Oh,
Quest.
that sounds...
6, 7. So good. So good, bro.
Good God.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Alright.
If the planet doesn't have the blue thing that means that it can land on it, can it still be detailed surface scan? Or
Yes,
is
you
it
can
not
surface
possible?
scan
Planets you can
anybody.
scan.
But do you get like the credits for it? Like
You get an additional payout for scanning anything. What type of body it is depends how much the payout is, right?
It hasn't been detailed surface scanned one of the planets. I just wonder.
Yeah. So
Do I
you'll
get-
get, if you scan it, you'll get the money for scanning it, and you'll also get a bonus for being the first to scan it.
But I
Yeah.
think what he's asking is it worth it? And the answer to that is you have to look to see what kind
Yeah.
of planet it is.
Yeah, but it has been discovered, but not detailed surface scanned.
Right.
But
That's
it
fine.
doesn't have. But it doesn't have the blue thing on it.
That just means you can't land there. You can still scan them.
Yeah, but do I get the does my name be there if I scan it?
If you scan it and then go and sell the cartographic data, it doesn't show up when you scan it. It doesn't show up until after you sell the cartographic data. So you have to make it to a station.
But it has been discovered, but it hasn't
Yeah.
been detailed surface scan.
Yeah, so there's separate names
just-
for first discovered and first mapped.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just looking through the system, but it doesn't. It's 3 different people has already seen it, and the farthest planet from the star is 9,841 light seconds away from the star.
That's not too far. I mean, it's a few minutes in Super Cruise, but it's not like hundreds of thousands.
It's not worth it. So I'm not gonna even try.
Fair enough.
Yeah, depending on what kind of system it is. Generally, when I'm out here and if I'm trying to make any kind of speed, the only time I'll fly out to something is if it's a water world or an Earth-like world or ammonia, or if it's terraformable. Because terraformables are worth a lot more if you surface scan them.
Exactly.
So you can check, without using third-party tools, you can check in the system map. If you target the body and look at its details, it will say that it's a candidate for terraforming, if it is. And then those might be worth going out, traveling out to them and surface mapping, because they pay out like many, many times more than non-terraformables if you map them. So where am I? I'm only 3 jumps out from my final destination.
The final countdown. Alright. Good God.
You're gonna get my stream pulled down, man, for copyrighted music.
Space madness. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Space madness.
Space madness. It's definitely set in. I might have to go do some CQC. Making fewer and fewer jumps between CQC visits.
It's setting in.
Bad.
I'm feeling extremely unspace madnessy for this trip because it ends up being so much shorter than the previous episodes. Except I just screwed up this cone boost.
It just doesn't seem like one of your streams with no dubs here.
I know. So I the point of the timing on the stream, of course, for UK, but I kind of let Alec pick the time that was going to work for him because I wanted to be able to chat with him, and that was super fun. I think for the other ones, because I'll do 2 more that are in UK time, I think I would aim more for like the 7 or 8 p.m. UTC because I think there'll be a lot more people on.
Yeah.
So we were at about 4 p.m. UTC for this one, and that actually works out a little better for my schedule too. So next time, so hopefully we'll have a little bit more chatter in here at that time. I'll get those on the calendar.
Kai.
What's that?
I was like, Kai's talking. I was like, oh, Trax is talking. Yeah.
Yawn.
No, I had to get up at 2 a.m. for work, and then
Oh god.
and I was going until kind of around 1 a.m. So yeah.
Yep. Well, this system is thoroughly not mapped by anybody. I may change that since we're so on schedule.
As you probably have already realized, I'm not a talking person. Like,
It's all good, man.
I think you're doing a fine job.
Yeah, you're doing
I'm
fine, man.
talking more when I'm playing with my friends. Like, but I'm.
We're not your
still
friends.
gonna talk.
Gosh, Bert.
You just made it worse, but I'm still gonna talk.
Wonderful.
All right. I dig this kid, man.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, I'm not a joke. I'm not like good at jokes.
I think you're doing great.
Yeah, I think I didn't have made even one joke this time of talk.
I haven't heard you say knock knock once.
No. What should I do?
There you go. This kid, he does Foley work. I tell you, this kid, he's built for radio. This kid.
I got a face for radio.
Ain't that the truth?
Hey, man. I might have to go get a snack.
Also, why do you keep asking me to pick heads or tails? That's creepy as fuck.
Who is doing that?
Chig. Super creepy. He just walks around with a big hammer and asks you to pick heads or tails.
A pneumatic
Pneumatic piston.
Well, I just went with a hammer because I figured it'd be easier to explain.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I just want to tell you guys something. Here in Norway, one person actually bought like canned food for like $1,000 in dollars, but here in Norway we have a currency like called
Kroner.
Kroner, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That and $1,000 is like 10,000 kroner.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's a lot of money. Like, he bought canned food.
It's a lot of canned food.
10,000 kroner or $1,000.
Was he hungry?
It was all corn because he had a weird fetish.
It was for the coronavirus. We still say coronavirus, but I can't say that in English. I'm just gonna say corona.
Say it in Norwegian.
Oh, okay. COVID-19.
Yep.
Well, one more time.
COVID-19.
Wow.
Yep, that's how I said it.
I can speak some more Norwegian if you guys want.
Sure, Chig would like you to talk to him in Norwegian and tell him about how your week was at school last week.
I'm going to talk about something else.
All right.
Talk about your Fortnite prowess.
Wow, why do you have to mention Fortnite? Fortnite is cancer, bro. Keep up.
Yeah. No, that can't.
See?
Tell us how much you hate Fortnite in Norwegian. Go on a Fortnite rant.
Yep. Well said.
Do you guys want me to translate that?
Sure.
I hate Fortnite that much that I want to kill Fortnite.
Wow.
That's what I said.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be Fortnite.
Yeah, you should not be Fortnite right now. Like,
Okay.
my dad and my little brother is actually playing Fortnite right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think... I'm not gonna say names, but just heads up, they are playing Fortnite right now, and I don't like it.
When you say you're not going to say names, you already said my dad and my little brother,
Yeah,
so we
but
do have a
those are
clue.
not the real name.
Ah.
Yeah.
So if I search Fortnite right now for dad, it's not coming up.
No, it's not.
Fair
It's
enough.
not. Probably a lot of pictures, but it's not anything. So
Yeah, but you're like, I don't need to play that Fortnite. Okay, boomer.
yeah,
I get you. I get you.
Dad.
Yeah. Right? You're cooler. You're flying around spaceships in the galaxy, going to Sag A-Star. Like a
but
rock
now
star.
I'm just discovering planets because of 5 jumps for that.
Nice.
Discovering on my way back to the station before I'm going to head out because I haven't gotten to the station yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
God, I'm sick of FSSing things.
There are two. There are two there. That's like annoying. That's one of those annoying things in the game.
Absolutely. All right, I will be back in just a moment. I'm gonna go put something to eat in the oven so I can get some food in a while.
I gotta go get food too.
Well, we're jumping into the last waypoint here, so I'll be
Oh, well, I'll hold tight then
finishing.
until you finish that.
I don't know if this is a station. This is one of the Colonia Highway stations, so I don't even know if the system is particularly interesting, but it is where I chose to put down for the day, assuming this would be a short one. And it was.
Yay!
Yay! No more space madness.
Hi, are you here?
They may have stepped out to get food.
Yeah, see in here the moon symbol.
The mute, yep.
No. Like if you look at who's in the Discord, you see if you go on member list, you see that I have it's idle. It's idle.
Ah.
So it's probably not in this chat, or probably doesn't hear us. Yeah, that's fine.
Probably doesn't. That's fine. So okay, so we made it. We are at the destination system, and of course it's populated. So there's people in here.
Live people?
There are NPCs here currently.
Oh, you still have rare goods on you?
I sure do. A little bit fewer than I had when I set out.
Have fun. I'm pretty sure I got interdicted in that system.
Yep. Well, let's see who is here. That's a Cobra. You're not a threat. A shieldless Cobra. Who is wanted? We go take him out.
Too close to the sun. I flew into the ring thing, and yeah, and now I gotta wait a little time before I can jump out or jump into Super Cruise.
I really think I might start just logging in solo, just to get in the habit, so when I get back near the bubble at some point, I don't go in there and open.
Accidentally.
I've got a lot of exploration data right now. I think I'm over 600 million.
I don't want to play in open. Like I never want to play in open because I've heard about ganking and that doesn't seem fun.
It's just part of the game. The game is called Elite Dangerous, but sometimes you just don't want. There's some places you go, you just don't go in open.
Yeah, I don't know. I still,
but
by default, I do everything in open. There are a few circumstances where I probably wouldn't, but I've also been selling the exploration data along the way, so it isn't really that big a deal.
Yeah, this is what I'm carrying. Since Anchorage.
So you were way out to begin with, right? Or did you just go way ahead of me?
I started the same time as you did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was there for the jump on the first night.
Right on.
But I thought I was going to be out of town most of April, so I started just moving real fast, and then...
So somebody has... I think somebody has actually completed already. I know Ty posted that it marked him complete, but...
Meg 81.
Right.
Meg 81.
Which is funny, because he was also the first death, right? If I recall.
Second death.
Second.
Yeah, first death, we still don't know who that was. That I know of.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to drop for a little bit and take care of some stuff out of comms. It was fun. Have a great one, and I'll be around.
Thanks. We'll be closing the stream here not too long from now, so we'll see you around.
Ciao.
All right.
Oh, it's gonna leave. Okay. Yeah, that's okay for me.
Some real life stuff's gonna go on. Yeah, we'll close down the stream here pretty soon. But it was great chatting with you.
Yeah, if you're gonna go too long, I'm gonna go head out too. But if I see you in this channel, I might just join.
Yeah, of course. Anytime when there's a general chat, there's a few streaming channels that people will use if they are streaming, and then wherever you want to be.
Yeah, I'm streaming on PS4 though, so I can't actually I can't be in both. I can stream my PC, but I don't have Elite Dangerous on PC, and my PC can't even handle it.
Oh no!
It can barely handle Minecraft.
Right.
It runs smoothly, not smoothly, but it runs good on Minecraft, but doesn't really go as well. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some stuff I'll go map here. Let's see, 1 and 2 on the BC. So A6 and 7, let's start there. I'll scan some things before I close down. 6 is close.
Are you doing this daily or are you doing this?
So I've been streaming on Tuesday nights, my time, which is, let's see. So I've been doing 7:30, but I'm UTC -4. And then a few this is for closer to UTC hours. This one, and then there'll be 2 others that are on the schedule for a weekend day. Similar to this, although I think I'm going to aim a little bit later next time.
Yeah, I had homeschool, so I'm not really depending on being at school, so I can probably just when I'm done with things, and if I see you in this channel or see anybody in this channel, I just maybe just popping in and seeing or talking, because I can decide when I want to have free time or when I want to be don't want to do work.
Yeah.
And I think I don't even have homework, so yeah.
Right on.
But I might join stream or look at the streams, and yeah. I'm one jump away from the station system I'm going to, so
good.
Probably ending the same going out. I'm probably going out at the same time as you.
All right. Sounds good.
Starting off my stream shift drive and going to the system. You know the station that's far away from the dropout star, or the station? Yeah, the station, or you know what I mean. I don't really remember.
You're asking which station it is?
0.12 light years, I think, away from the dropout star. I think it was
Are you talking about Hutton Orbital?
Hutton Orbital, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been tricked by somebody.
Oh
you didn't get
no!
Your anaconda?
About the a free cobra, not a free cobra, but yeah.
Anaconda. Yep.
Anaconda was it. And I wanted it, so I just went out and I just realized it was like too small of a station to have an anaconda. So I just looked at eddb.io and just saw it didn't have it, and I still flew out and just see if they had like false and put it like not like it wasn't there, like yeah. But it wasn't, so
it's a dirty trick.
yeah. And the worst thing is he has played the game for like probably a year, and I can look at my play game. I'm gonna look at my time in game actually. Oh, it's hard to do it with one hand, so I have to try to do it with one hand because I have to push the top. What is it under? Is it under? No, it's not. It's under stats, I think. Let me see. No, where is it? Where is the time? How long?
Time in game? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where that is. It's not under system log.
It's underneath the codex.
Oh, yeah, I'm in the codex, but
It's codex commander. Right there. Hold on, stats. Hold on, I'll find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
it.
Not schedulers to.
Oh, it's right there. Go to commander stats. It's right on the very first page, and first column, second row, approximate time played.
Wait, where are you now?
So go to the codex.
Yeah.
Commander, and right there on that page, it has approximate time played underneath the highest single reward. It's like on the overview page. It says highest single reward, approximate time played.
Oh yeah, approximate time played 5 days, 13 hours, and 48 minutes.
Nice.
Played this game for. I have to let the ship go now.
Absolutely. 7.
Yeah, I just got the notice at my daughter's school.
It's closed, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, my the school I'm in is closed too, so yeah. Hi.
Hmm?
Did you see that I've been to my first black hole? Did you see that the screenshot?
No, I've been in and out a lot.
Yeah, if you just
so.
wanna just jump into screenshot and see like the screenshot thing, just look upwards and just see. You could see you just really easily see my name.
Yeah. That's nice, man.
That's actually my first black hole I've been to.
Cool.
Like,
awesome.
And now I'm gonna make my way out to Sagittarius A.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just gotta go back to the station. I was like only 9 jumps away from the station or the system I'm in, like 80 days in.
So you're going back to pick up some more supplies first?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up supplies before I head out. But I'm probably gonna head out next time everybody is in this chat, because time flies when you're in this chat. Like listening to you guys, talking to you guys. It has been a lot of fun to talk to you guys. So yeah.
I'm glad you had fun.
So yeah.
It's weird to see people. Well, not people, but you know, NPCs.
You have been locked in way too long, Trax.
Well, you know, each of these streams ends in a populated system, so
yeah,
it's not that long, but it's still enough that I feel weird. It feels unusual, you know. And I do get in the habit of scanning them because I do have rare cargo. Yeah. But I'm defended.
next time you guys are in this channel, I may just pop in and just play some Elite Dangerous and make my way out to Sagittarius A, and yeah, make the money.
Very good.
Make those money. I'm Pathfinder. I'm actually I'm Pathfinder at 23% on Explorer. So
Well, if you go all the way to Sag A and back, you'd probably be elite in exploration.
I'm probably on the way to Sagittarius A. I may just be elite, but actually I'm gonna sell at the nearest station I found. Then
right.
As soon as I can do it, I'm gonna sell the data. I don't even care. I'm gonna sell the data, and then I don't want to take risks, but could happen. But I don't want to use fuel rats either, so because I don't want to go in open. So I just want to have that fuel scoop that I have. I do not need another one. So that's clear. So yeah.
Just for reference, don't worry about using a fuel rat. If you get stuck somewhere, you're out of fuel or something, let us know. We got people all over the galaxy.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah,
you said you're PS4, right? We have PS4 people.
Yeah.
I got you.
So
we can save you.
Yeah, I know one person, but he's like all the way on the other side of the galaxy. So if I'm getting stuck, I may have to just call up fuel rats. That's on PS4 if that even exists. I don't even know if.
Oh, wait, of course.
Yeah,
definitely does.
They're on every platform. So.
Yeah, that may be. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just seeing how much data I'm getting from every system I've scanned so far. It's 468,000 credits. I've earned 900,000 from when I went to the black hole and back. So I made I made over $1 million today. I'm gonna look how much money I made of exploring just. So let me see. Exploration. I've jumped 1,411 light years, and total hyperspace distance 11,391 light years. I've been from maximum distance from start, like from
your start system.
From Sol, actually. So I've been 1,411 light years from I think maybe start or something. And then done 695 jumps, and I have system visited 565. Profit from exploring 15,866. That's a lot of money. The level 2 detail scan 3,033. Level 3 detail scan 3,330. Not 333. I don't know what that is, but I think that's good.
The detailed scans is when you map things, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like level 2 detailed scan and level 3 detailed scan.
Level 2 would be the FSS.
Level 3
and level 3 is the probes to map the planets.
For some reason I've used 3,033 of both. Somehow.
Maybe I don't know what it is after all.
I don't even know myself, so yeah. And how much profit have I got from mining? 1.4 million. Find 97 materials collected 348. Okay. I made 6,994,000,000 credits from trading. My average profit from trading is actually 162,000. Good. And zero smuggling. I'm not into zero smuggling. I haven't smuggled at all.
Well, how are you gonna be Han Solo then?
I don't know, but I don't even know because I picked up some Imperial slaves because I was in the system that says that it doesn't give you a fine for having Imperial slaves on you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust that. I don't know if I should trust that. Do anybody know if I should trust that?
Well, sure, if it says it's not illegal, but you got to keep track of where you're going.
Was it okay? I'm gonna look. What kind of thing is it in? It's one of the things, like the bubble things. It's in one of the power plays.
In the Empire.
Empire, yeah. I'm really. I'm sure. So, if you guys can, like, if I can, like, if I get proof that it's like not illegal, it's good. Because I'm a little nervous if it's illegal or not.
It wherever you're going, if it says, you know, it's not illegal, like, you got to look at where you're taking it before you take it there. And as long as it says it doesn't have it, it's not on the list of illegal goods or whatever, you're fine, man.
Wait, so if I buy it, like, I want to see if they sell it here.
Well,
Like, if you buy it,
they wouldn't be for sale in a system where they're illegal, right? So you know they're not illegal there, but you got to look at your destination. So if it's a mission to take them from here to there, then presumably, well, for one thing, the mission would tell you these actions may be considered illegal in the destination system.
I'm actually actually being away from those things because I don't want to be like, I don't want to get in trouble and get a big fine. Because I think the highest fine I've ever gotten in this game is like 202 credits? 220 credits? That's not gonna look.
Bumped into something in a station. Likely.
No, I shot in there in a rover. I shot.
Shot something.
No, actually, highest bounty I shot 200. No, I actually didn't shoot at something. I was in an SRV and I accidentally shot 55 times or something. I don't know. Because I thought I could do it because I didn't shoot at somebody. But as soon as you shoot, you get a 50 credit fine. So I just.
Well, that there are some times where you're doing a mission and you actually need to get a fine to complete the mission, and that's just kind of part of the game.
Is that a mission? Okay, that's not good. But lifetime fines valued is 15,600 credits, and bounty received / earned is 1 lifetime bounty value. That was a bounty? It was a 200 credits bounty.
Oh.
Bounty. It was a 200 credits bounty.
So how did you pay that off?
Yeah, I paid it straight off. Like, I called back my Type 7 because it wasn't long ago. I called back my Type 7 because I wasn't 7.5 kilometers away from the station. And I shot. And then I went back to the station and paid a fine so I didn't get killed and lost everything I had on me. I didn't know if I had anything, but just to be sure.
All right.
Now I have to do the thing that I actually was supposed to do, and now I actually forgot what that was. It was to get what was it? It was.
Well, were you getting AFMUs or repair limpets?
Yeah, repair thing. No, the repair thing. What should I get it on? 3 or a 5?
I don't think there's any reason to get a big one. That would just weigh your ship down.
AFMS?
The AFMU, the AFMU is weightless, so that won't change the jump range of your ship.
Yeah, MF unit.
Yep, and that will allow you to repair your modules.
Should I just get a C1? The 1C?
That's kind of about what you can afford and what the power usage on your ship is, because the higher rated ones will use more power, and they can do more repair, but they will use more power, so depending on the size of your power plant. But you can also power it off. Yeah, if you can find a D, those are the lowest weight. So, well, actually, no, that doesn't. Sorry, AFMUs are weightless, so you don't need to go for a D in that. But if you get a repair limpets, I would put a small one, like either a 1 or a 3, and put that in, make that a D rated because they're the lowest weight.
Field maintenance unit.
The field maintenance unit, pick whatever will fit in the power plant and the power usage of your ship, because those are weightless, so they will not slow you down at all.
Okay, those are like, wait.
They have no mass.
Yeah, but wait, it can't. Ship module can repair broken modules.
Right.
Yeah.
So just like the fuel scoop, they have no mass, so you can put a big one on your ship, and the only thing you have to think about is maybe having to turn it off if your power plant isn't big enough to power it.
I just have to upgrade my power plant to a 3A, I think.
Well, you could also just power it down, because you'll only need it once in a while, and you can always just drop to normal space and turn it on to use it.
Yeah, but does it need limpets, or does it already have limpets?
The limpet controller needs limpets, so you'll need a cargo rack and some limpets for that to work.
I need a limpet controller.
Right. Repair limpet is what we would have for that.
Okay, so fuel pressure limpet, hot breaking limpet, repair limpets.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Let's see, what station am I actually planning on going to here?
So what should I get?
I would get something small. It depends what slots you have available on your ship, but a 1 or a 3.
I have a 3. I can put it on a 3. So, but I don't have a lot of power I can use. But I can upgrade my power. Should I get should I get a 3A?
I would go D-rated for the limpet controller because they weigh less.
Yeah, but it's no D-rated here. It's only down to C.
Oh, well, I don't know. What's the weight difference between the A and the C? I would go with whichever one weighs less. Because you really don't need it to perform you don't need it to have high performance stats.
Yeah, I have a 1C and a 3E, a 3C. I can get one in one of these.
Probably the 1C would be fine.
Yeah,
I would check whichever weighs less. Probably the C weighs less than the A.
I don't know.
Yeah, one C is 1.3 tons.
Yeah.
A is 2 tons.
Oh, so that's hardly any difference at all, anyway.
Actually, A is 1.3.
Huh.
1A.
1A is 1.3. Well, that's pretty light.
Limpet controller.
Yeah, it's
repair.
Repair limpet controller is still 1.3 tons, and it's
Wiki's wrong.
Actually, I'm gonna go with 1C because it only increases the power draw and
it's like time. Distance. Yeah, it's like the attack, and you don't need it to go any distance because it's going to be repairing your own ship. So
yeah, so
no
I'm
need.
just gonna go with 1C.
Sounds good.
And then I have to go with a cargo rack, right? That's
right. You'll need a cargo rack just to carry limpets with you.
Should I get a 3A? Or not, a 3E, I mean?
Yeah, it'll be, E, and that'll carry, so if it's a size 3, it'll carry 8 tons, I think.
Yeah, 8. Yep. So how many should I get, actually? Is those, are they reusable?
So it's just a matter of, like, if you end up taking hull damage, that's what the repair limpet is for. It can repair your hull damage.
Yeah, but can I use it, like, one limpet, can I use it? Can I use it?
It will consume the limpet. So whenever you do it, and you'll see like whatever the rating is on that repair limpet controller, when you use it on yourself, it will consume one limpet, and do that much repair to your ship over whatever time it takes. So if you bring 4 limpets with you, you could also just have 1 in your cargo, or just if you have the materials, you can synthesize. I think they synthesize like 4 limpets at a time or something. So you don't even, and then they don't weigh you down. You only synthesize them if and when you need them. But you have to have the cargo rack present to be able to hold them.
Yeah, 1C is repair capacity is 60.
Okay, so that's 60 points of hull. So that's, if you think, like if your ship had a hull rating of 500, then it would repair 60 of that 500, right? So if you were
12%.
Yeah.
I can actually see.
That's pretty good on a, considering like your hull on an aspects is probably not that high.
Integrity is 378.
Oh, there you go. So 60 is a pretty significant portion of the hull, and seems fine.
Only a C. That's only a C.
Right.
I'm not gonna upgrade my my lightweight lightweight alloy, I think.
Nope, you want to leave that alone. You can engineer it to make it stronger because it has no mass to begin with. So if you engineer your hull that has your lightweight hull with heavy duty, it adds a percentage of mass, but because the starting percentage is 0, it doesn't add any mass. So explorer's trick. Explorer's trick, yeah. Engineer your lightweight modules for not modules, but your lightweight armor for heavy duty, and it's free armor.
Yeah, I need 21 million for a 6A, and I do not want a 6A fuel scoop. 6A fuel scoop. It's 21 million for me now. Like if I sell my a 7 million fuel scoop, because 6B costs 7 million, and that's what I could afford at that time. So I just took that and just.
Well, that might be fine. I mean, it's just going to scoop a little slower, so you have to keep track of your heat a little more.
It's only 750 tons a minute. I don't even know if it's a minute or it's 750. It says. So it's not slow. It's pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean the rule for building an exploration ship is like whatever the largest slot you have, you fit that with the best fuel scoop you can afford, because that's going to be meaningful to you when you're out there just doing hundreds of jumps. It's really going to be meaningful to you to save that time scooping and to have it happen efficiently without overheating your ship. But if it's a money struggle, the difference between a 6A and a 6B is not going to kill your whole trip.
Yeah, that's what what I did wrong with my Type 7. I could make it and better jump range, but I was so scared that I ran out of fuel with a fuel because I had already done that, and then I had to drill in the sun. That's a story for another day.
All right, Chris, it was good to meet you, buddy. I gotta sign out for now. You guys have fun.
Nice chatting with you.
Yeah, I couldn't jump longer because I couldn't fuel scoop it because it was a dwarf star.
It was a brown dwarf.
I just had to. I probably did an hour of doing it, and I couldn't get to the place I couldn't get back. And
that's too bad.
Back then, I didn't know that I could actually sort out like a refuelable stars, and story for another day. I'm gonna stop. Sorry, but and my Type 7, I put fuel scoop at what's the maximum for a Type 6?
I've actually never owned a Type 7. I don't know what its biggest slot is.
Yeah, it's a 3
size 6 slots.
Optional internals. And then I put a fuel scoop in one of them, and that was a 7 million fuel scoop, 6B. And then I put fuel tanks in every single slot.
Oh wow!
And that's the way that I lost interest in playing exploration, but
Right.
I really want to do exploration more. I really want to do exploration because you're just out in the dark and you're exploring the universe. I can't even think about being like anywhere else. Like I want to be in space. Like I don't
I'm with
even
you.
own a I don't own a VR headset, but I want to use a VR headset on this game. But it's just I don't really know what my purpose in this game is. Like I probably could be a full explorer. I could be I'm not a combat person, that do I know, so I'm not gonna do combat.
Sure.
But when I have to do a triple elite, I'm gonna put my time into combat. I don't even know how. Do you know how to unlock to go to Soul?
For Soul, you need to reach a certain rank with the Federation.
Oh.
So to unlock the Soul system, yeah, the best way is probably going to be to find courier missions between a couple of Federation-controlled systems and do courier missions for those factions. And you just do that kind of over and over again. I mean, or you can just have it unlock naturally through gameplay, like over time, just doing missions and doing things for Federation systems. You'll constantly be gaining rank for them.
Understand, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
So we're landed at how do you say this? Caravanserai? All right. Oh, and I need to end my multi-crew session before I can. Forgot that this doesn't just end when people leave the seats. There we go. So, we're gonna refuel and repair and so on. Oh, I have outfitting here. Interesting. I wonder if any planets here have rings? Nope, no ringed systems. That's all right. I don't need to worry about my osmium yet.
Can I just cover something? If I want to buy a Libet controller, like buy what I need, it would cost me $808 or credits.
Yep.
That's nothing. I'm sitting here in like 18 million.
Sure.
But how much money do you sit on right now?
Oh, my balance is currently 655.5 million. But that's not particularly high for somebody who's played as long as me. I tend to not worry that much about gaining money, but a lot of players have a lot more than that. My understanding is the average player out there is probably something in the 200 million or less over kind of everyone. But it varies widely, and it depends, like, because I've been playing the game for at least a year and a half now, I guess, maybe almost 2 years. But yeah, so at a certain point you stop thinking about how much things cost for the most part. But that's not where you are now. Yeah, but that repair limpet controller, that's nothing, and obviously you're going to make that all back trying to do this trip. So
yeah, I just hope I don't have to overuse the limpet controller.
So here's something to think about for the limpet, because obviously you're not going to have a lot of cargo space. But
only 8.
Right, but you probably, 8 tons of stuff would actually reduce your jump range quite a bit in a ship like that. So you think about the synthesis. So if we go over to the synthesis panel, you can, where's limpets? Here we go. Limpets can be synthesized for 10 iron and 10 nickel. So
yeah, and then we go to that problem. I don't know how to get those.
Well, you can get them with a mining laser in a ring, or they're really easy to find if you drive the SRV around on a planet surface.
Wait, what did you say I needed again? I can look if I
Well, so you can put a mining laser on your ship, and then they can be...
the resources. What kind of resources?
Oh, it's 10 iron and 10 nickel, and that will give you 4 limpets. So then, if you think about it, you don't have to carry them with you.
4 iron and 10 nickel.
Yep.
For how many limpets?
I think it recharges 4 at a time.
Okay, so I can make I can make a batch, one batch, because I have 23 nickel.
Sure. So you and how many iron?
40.
So you could do that twice. So technically,
yeah,
you could go out with no limpets, and then if you find that you need to repair the hull, you could synthesize the limpets that you need. Just make sure you do have the cargo rack in place, because you will need that.
I'm just gonna be sure, and I'm gonna keep it on me.
Yeah.
I think I picked it up. Yeah,
That'll
I have
work.
8 limpets on me.
Right on.
Yeah. You're gonna end the stream now, right?
Yeah, pretty close. I'm actually just checking I'm checking to see if there's a refinery at this station before I log off, because I am 1 ton short on my osmium because of a mistake I made. So I may, if I could find a local ring system here. The optionals, doesn't matter. Do you have refineries? Ah, they do. They have a bunch of refineries. Okay, so we could log in at some point and get that extra 1 ton of osmium while here. Interesting. Okay, well for now, I am gonna end the stream. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll play this one more time.
Distant screws.
Going deep.
Yeah, there we are. And let's see, what are we doing next time? So next episode, we'll be going to waypoints 12, 13, 14, and 15. And we're going to see systems called Vihara Gate, the Hole in the Sky, which is got to be another black hole kind of thing. Something called Sugar Stick. And then, the Masta Murdoch Raceway. Interesting. So anyway, next episode, we end in Colonia. So we'll be there.
Oh yeah, you're going to Colombia. That's right.
Yeah, Colonia on the way. So that'll be happening next time. All right, I'm going to sign off from the stream. Thanks for watching. See you next time.